A bleh. I can't stop putting fuck tons of curry powder in my noodles. I'm I'm so I'm so about curry powder. Like anything with like a curry flavor to it, beautiful, wonderful. If if I could choose to eat like okay, so you like put me at gunpoint, which like, you know, first of all, you would never get me there. But let's say hypothetically speaking, there is a gun pointed at me and they're asking me, and I don't have to entertain this. There's a gun pointed at me and they're asking me what they're giving me a choice of what food I will eat. I will only eat this food and I will choose curry. That like easy. I love curry. And I know I wasn't talking about curry. I was talking about curry spice in a non-curry dish. But if I had to pick one thing and there's a gun pointing at me, it would have to be curry. But like the gun wouldn't even like matter. It's like it's fine. But if I were to entertain that, I feel like I was gonna say so. Oh, yeah. Um, there's something truly both divine and humbling about when so you eat like all the noodles in like a bowl of ramen, right? And then you've used like a bunch of like spicy stuff. Like I'll use my curry powder, and I like to put so a good amount of like cayenne pepper in there. Um, there's something about just chugging down that ramen sweat and feeling yourself sweat in kind and absolutely just ruining yourself trying to gulp down this spicy ramen. It's so good. I get I get all gross and like while trying to down it, but oh my god, it's so good. I love that ramen spicy ramen solution that I make for myself. Hi Pearly Doom. I also forgot to say hi Kita, hi Gina. Should try spicy bulldog noodles. Oh, I don't know what con. I'm gonna look up spicy bulldog noodles. Oh yeah, these ones. I should. Those do look really good. Oh, that looks like that's some ramen. That's gonna get me. That's gonna get me sweating. People do spicy noodle challenge with them. Oh, oh. I am looking at probably the reddest bowl of noodles I've ever seen in my whole life. Oh my god. Maybe I'll do it. Do I eat spicy noodles on stream? Is that like a thing I do? Do I embarrass myself and get all gross and boogery as I'm having like a spicy food moment? Nuclear spicy event? I think that'd be kind of funny. Oh, that does remind me. I need to get like I need to get cool black latex gloves so I can do like I want to do maybe at some point maybe I'll do like gunpla stream. That'll be fun. Um, I've been yammering a minute. I'll switch over the thingy. Uh, meow. Oh, oh. I just stretched out my arms and uh I felt I felt my joints feel it. I was feeling it, and my joints are feeling it. My body in that moment was cacophonous. So we got more Coquette Dragoon. Okay, hold on. Which save was I using? Oh fuck. What save was I using? Not this one. Was it this one? No, that's not that. That's December. Was it this one? I think it was this one. Yeah, because 2020. Yeah, that would be that one probably. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I did it. Oh, I love Cork Metz Lagoon. That I had to read that second. Hold on. I had to read that message like 5 times for that to click. Yeah. I do still have like a little bit of spicy flavor in my mouth. Ah, okay. The hardest part starting. That's the hardest part of anything. Flashbang your frontal lobe. Ah! My frontal lobe. I first heard of I thought Coquette Dragoon. Fun fact, the Twitter tag for NSFW works of Coquette is dragooning. But and that was like, I think that was set like way before this current goon wave that we have going on right now. Ahead of the curve. The rest of the school day went exactly as Gio expected it to. She was berated and then ignored. Her classes were all stuck on things she already knew or had no need to know. At least, she noted, pilots weren't particularly in the habit of bothering or bullying each other. The EVE Online Outfit Game Squad is doing what? Wow, 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 wow. Climbing the steps from the train station into the base, Gio found herself before a crowd of soldiers blocking the entrance through the main foyer. She stood watching the crowd for a moment, trying to figure out what it was all for. She'd never seen so many people here. A group of red-faced officers worked their way through the crowd, barking at the soldiers to form orderly lines. As Gio slowly circled around the back of the room to get a better view, she saw a flash of black metal exchanging hands at the front of the room. What that officer said rang in her ears again. Back to normal. It was normal for any soldier to have a gun, including her, and today they were all being handed back. Burgder, big savings. Burgder, it's your favorite. 4 lawyers. There's 4 of us. Minmo cat foods. I didn't even notice. I never noticed the Minmo. Before she knew it, she had to run away. She couldn't even look at a gun. Not today. There were any number of feigned excuses she could give for how she missed it. She was studying outside and never heard the announcement. She was called out for something by Susie. She was under orders to be somewhere else. None of it would hold up, nor could she say any of it convincingly. But she couldn't stop herself from running. Pacing through the plaza, Gio slowed to a stop in front of the hobby store. Everywhere she looked in this world built for waging war. I'm sorry for the little pause. I'm like messing with my audio levels as we go. Everywhere she looked in this world built for waging war, she saw its weapons. And here, at this little store for hobbyists, she saw it all again, miniaturized into a collector's toy set displayed in the window. The dragoon she had flown alongside yesterday was staring right back at her once again. Gio stood transfixed, her mind racking over the question posed to her by the all-too-familiar advertisement. What did she think this was all before coming here? Or this all was? What did she think a pilot really was? Did she even think about it at all? She remembered her disbelief at seeing the store for the first time. It felt so wrong to sell these, right where pilots could see them. But why did she think such a thing was going to be separated? Why would the worlds of war and civilian life be so cleanly delineated? What boundary did she think existed? After all, being put on show was part of the job description. Until now, she had unconsciously thought of that as a one-way mirror. Even in her most distant memories, war took center stage. Those playground war games. The kids nobody liked had to play the part of the Duchy invaders being gunned down by the dozen. She was usually the first to be pelted with foam bullets. She remembered the cheap, articulated action figures of dragoons that soared through the air in her hands. They each came packaged with a trading card, the Ace series. They had a photograph depicting the pilot, complete with a list of their medals, battles, and campaigns under their belt, and a breakdown of total confirmed kills. All of it was real, a biography of a living human. On the back of the boxes of the more complicated snapped-together models, a similar cluster of information was on display. Every Lilac Dragoon was made to order for a specific pilot. It was only natural they themselves were a part of the mystique. Ayane had told Gio she would get a model made of her Dragoon too, sooner or later. The results from her test flights told her that this was going to be true. She was, numerically, an ace in the making. The schematics of the Coquette were probably already being prepared into a little plastic mold. When she decided how it was going to be painted, the designer Susie mentioned was probably going to be taking notes for the merchandising. Gio had seen media training on the list of upcoming classes, but she hadn't given it much thought until now. Was she going to be prepared for her back of the box interview? Would there be a photo of her too? How long before she saw an Ensign Rosales trading card? She couldn't quite remember any of the specifics of her childhood favorite, a powder blue and orange dragoon. But she remembered feeling captivated by the photo on the card that came with it, a young, cheerful-looking woman posing with a thumbs up. At the time, she was no different to a television character. What did that blonde girl giving the thumbs up really think about all this? How did she feel at the sight of children playing with a weapon she made famous? As Gio got older, she found herself surrounded by people who obsessed over every little detail of the war, arguing over which dragoon could beat which, or what tactic could have turned X battle around on Y date. Who was the strongest pilot? Who flew the fastest? Who would win in this matchup? Were Gauss guns really better than chemical propellant rifles? Tandem warhead or discarding sabot? Was this pilot hot or not? She had grown more than distasteful of it by that point, but at the same time, her cynicism didn't make the war any more tangible than her childish admiration did. The humans inside those dragoons were mere symbols. They didn't have any thoughts back at the people who worshipped them. They lived in a separate world with much bigger things to think about. Perhaps a part of herself believed that they didn't think about it, so when she became a pilot, she wouldn't think about any of it either. But now, she wondered. When the time came for her machine to be made into merchandise and her face printed on packaging, was some little kid out there going to grow up playing with it too? Nash, Hello. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. We're examining the strange world that these pilots of war machines inhabit, where their war machines are in their own way celebrities, as they themselves are celebrities, and are made to be merchandise. I love war toys. We're playing toys in here. We're playing toys. Would any of it show through in that photo of her face? Her disgust with herself, her fear, the way she woke up in the morning, gripped by terror and delusion. That she was a coward who ran away at the sight of a mere handgun. Oh, I wanna bite all that and thrash it around in my mouth. It's so sorry, I was like waving a hand around. You couldn't see it, but I was doing that. Gio turned away from the store. She paced down the strip of tiles, filled with anger at herself. She should have known better and thought it all through just a little harder. In the end, her sense of cynicism towards the war she felt so smart and superior to had only produced the same result as those warmongers. Her thinking was lazy and simplified. She'd thought she already knew every way it was going to hurt her and made her decision rationally. She told herself it was all just a transaction, and she knew what she was getting into, with all the pros and cons carefully weighed. She knew she was going to be given a gun, but it felt like nothing next to being given her dragoon. She thought it was something she wouldn't even bat an eyelid at in comparison. She never imagined the room she slept in would be a constant reminder of the worst that could come out of being given one. She thought her commanders would abuse her, but she only imagined the simplicity of a baton. She thought this place would make her feel depressed, but only in the same way school did. Maybe this was karma catching up to her. She chose this job to benefit herself at the expense of others in the clearest possible terms. Was it only fair for it to kill her too? She never wanted to be a soldier. Whenever she struggled to find work in the past, enlistment had always loomed over her. Making a tummy ache from emotions. Oh, hello, thank you for joining it. Yeah, this, I'm nodding. I'm nodding. I feel that. Whenever she struggled to find work in the past, enlistment had always loomed over her. Healthcare, accommodation, and good pay. It was always appealing, but the moral cost felt unconscionable. She hated this war and this ugly fleet. The duchy were the murderers of her parents, but she had never been able to hate them. She resented being told how to feel about their deaths. The enemy was nothing more than a nation of strangers. Whichever individual bore responsibility was dead or retired by now. Even if she wanted revenge, it wasn't going to come by going to the battlefield herself. The results that showed she was fit to be a dragoon pilot came accidentally during a hospital stay. It was like winning a lottery ticket she never even bought. It never even knew she'd bought. The money in her account now was more than she'd ever seen in her life. More than she'd ever hoped to make in her life. She had never respected soldiers. She told herself she would never stoop to their level. But the reality was, they just hadn't made a good enough deal yet. She didn't know she had a price until it was shown to her. Of course, she was going to be punished for it. The fucking oomph of the writing in this section is crazy. Gio wandered down into the crop of trees at the base of the plaza. She wanted to be far away from people, away from noise. It wasn't all too long ago Ayane had taken her here for their little picnic to welcome Gio aboard. A part of her was hoping to run into Ayane here, she supposed. Gio crouched down behind a tree. This was where Fufi had spoken to her last, too. Everything Fufi had told her came true about this place and what it would do to her. She brushed her off, but everything she had said to her had been haunting her this whole time. And now, she was punished for ignoring her warnings, too. Words you don't want to remember. Are you really sure this is what you want? Fufi asked her. Yeah, I know you're scared. I am too. But it'll be okay. We'll work it out. We've always worked it out, right? I think this goes a little beyond working it out. Why did I give her that shitty line? Why was I trying to be cute about it? And then, why did I get angry at her? You don't like it here, do you? Gio looked past her. I can't stand it. You don't want me to be doing this. You've told me that the whole time. Of course I don't want you to be doing this, Fufi cried. I can't exactly turn back now. Why'd she react like it was funny? I signed all the papers. They gave me a rank. I can't get a discharge just by asking for it. Even still, you don't have to do it. You can run away, Fufi pleaded. You have money. You can take it all out before they realize. It didn't work like that at all. You've seen how big this place is? They kill deserters, Gio murmured. Only if they catch you. Gio stared up at her. No other android would say such a thing. They could never recommend rule breaking or endangering oneself. She always wondered what made Fufi so different. Probably that she'd been exposed to things she was never designed to endure. In this situation, the contradiction between the danger of staying and the danger of running away was not something they were built to handle. I can't do that, Gio replied. I want to stay. I want to make it work here. I want a decent life. None of this is decent, Fufi spat. Killing people, she enunciated. This is killing people. You never once said the words yourself. You've been pretending this whole time that it's just another job. This job means hurting people. You can't look away from it. I can't let you look away from it. Gio's next words came out slowly. And what if I want to hurt people? Why did she say that? To scare her off? In the present, Gio clutched her sides. That dream this morning had shown her the reality of it. She hadn't vomited like that in a long time. She didn't want to hurt anyone. Don't say that! Fufi shrieked. Do you think I'm not guilty already? What do you think the ships I worked on were for? I was repairing and fitting weapons. That's what that job was. But you weren't the one using them. Does it matter? Yes, it matters. Gio clenched her hands together. You never saw what I saw in those ships. I saw exactly what those weapons did to people. And I helped anyway, right over the dead bodies. I never took you along because I didn't want you to see. But I can't separate myself from it. You know, they made us all sign waivers. We were participating in the war, legally speaking. Legitimate targets. That doesn't mean you want to hurt people. Does telling yourself that make it easier when you know you don't have a choice? Is that it? Fufi demanded an answer. You were never meant to be like this. What was I meant for? Gio asked. You were meant to be happy, and I looked after you all this time. But now, you aren't my parent. I've never expected that from you. I just want you to make the right decisions. And what was the right decision? Fucking starving? Gio snapped at her. Living day after day in that fucking shithole. No friends, no life, with absolutely nothing ahead of me? There was nothing for me there. There's no work I could have been happy doing. I never met a single person I could even speak to. There's nothing waiting for me there. Absolutely nothing. I'd rather die than go back. I'm completely serious. I don't think I could survive going back. You saw every day of it. So how can you say that to me? Gio pleaded. I can get out after this. I have something ahead of me after this. I can have a roof over my head. I can eat every day whatever I want. I can go to school and study. I can meet people. I can have something bearing any resemblance to an actual human fucking life. Why don't you want that for me? Of course I want it, Gio, Fufi said slowly, stunned by Gio's outburst. I've always wanted it, but not like this. Gio could only sniffle in response. I think I need some time to think. Are you leaving? Gio asked. Fufi turned back to her. I'm not giving up on you, but I can't watch you like this. Oh, fuck, man. Fufi was right about all of it. But Gio couldn't back down. She really would die if she went back. She would never be able to retire, even after a lifetime. It was just working for nothing, until it eventually broke her. But if it felt like she was going to die here too, then what was the point of it all? If there's no right choice to make, does it matter which one you pick? What that girl in her room was struggling with might have felt like this. Susie mentioned it when she arrived. Claire had no next of kin, just like Gio. Without anywhere to go back to, and without being able to find a place here, she was forced into a corner. Gio had wanted to die for as long as she could remember, but it had never felt like such an immediate threat. This place really was cruel enough, lonely enough, and violent enough to kill you. She rubbed her face on her sleeve. How was she meant to go back to the base? She wanted to apologize to Fufi. Gio knew she was around there somewhere. But what could she say? She had no solutions to offer her. The only person who had accepted her without judgment was Ayane, but she was nowhere to be seen. Gio flipped open her phone, hoping once again to see a text from her. But her inbox was still empty. Girl, you gotta reach out. She wanted so badly to speak with her, but her fingers froze on the keys. A cry for help was too much to send as a first message. Ayane knew she was in pain. She'd probably have known from the moment they met. She wouldn't be bothered by Gio asking her for a shoulder to lean on. But now that she thought about it, Ayane knew what happened to that girl too, and Ayane had known it was in that room. That's why she insisted Gio stay with her. Was all this why Ayane was being so nice to her? Gio clapped the phone closed. She shouldn't think such horrible things. Her stomach growled at her. It was already past lunch. What was she meant to do? She couldn't eat the barracks. And going out alone felt terrifying right now, too. But sitting here moping would only make things worse. Time wouldn't pass any quicker just because she wanted it to. Eating was her only choice right now. She had to stop these feelings from getting worse. But where could she get, but where could she go? Somewhere away from the base, a place other soldiers don't like to hang around, with food she liked, and where she wouldn't feel scared to go alone. The answer came so quickly, it made her groan. What a useless bit of good fortune. Wibbleburger! Again. Wibbleburger 2, the squeakquel. I love Wibbleburger. Wibbleburger is my favorite, and it's your favorite too. Because I said so. Welcome to Wibbleburger! Oh my god, something happened. Something dastardly happened to my voice. Geo awkwardly waved to the plushies as she entered. She could feel her sweat sticking to her face. Hi, table for one? Of course, sit anywhere you like, a toy responded cheerfully. Gio looked over the restaurant for a place to sit. Would you like a petting ticket? A plushie asked. Gio hesitated for a moment. Is Pompilon free? Of course, she'll be right with you. Thank you. Gio took a seat as far away as she could from the other customers, pushing herself into the corner of the booth to stay out of sight. She stared into the window's reflection, trying to gauge how distressed the girl looking back at her seemed. Coming here had probably been a mistake. She didn't want to be seen by anybody. Every little noise, every placed glass or rattling of cutlery or bell ringing from the kitchen made her flinch. Oh, it's you again. Where's Miss Iane? Pompilon asked as she arrived at the table. Gio jumped. Her hair is so soft looking. I want to brush her hair for her. I'm getting the same instinct that Iane was getting, where I'm like, can I brush her hair? I want to brush her hair. Does anyone else want to brush her hair? I want to brush her hair. I haven't seen her today, Gio stuttered. I feel like I forgot where I was for a moment there. That's always been a bad habit. Well, another day of peace and quiet for me, at least, Pompilon said dryly. Yeah. Gio shrunk in her seat. Everything was so noisy here. Why did she even come? Pardon my directness, but are you quite all right? Pompilon asked. I don't think so, Gio admitted. Pompilon sighed, placing herself on the table in front of Gio. If you wanted cheering up, you could have picked a lot better than me. You're the only one I knew, Gio murmured. What troubles you so? I'm a good listener. I don't know if I can say. I take the confidentiality of my customers quite seriously, Pompilon boasted. No, it's just, it's horrible. I can handle horrible. It is what I'm designed for, I suppose. To a certain extent, Gio added mentally. Come on, you could tell me what's bothering you. Something really bad happened, and Gio started. I don't feel like I can't go back. And I don't know where Iane is, so I don't have anyone to talk to. Tears welled up in her eyes. Gio recalled, God, I'm sorry. No, don't be. That sounds dreadful. Gio couldn't say anything more. There. Look, don't worry about the time limit today. I'll keep you company, okay? Thank you, Gio sniffled. It's the least I could do, please. And I'll give Iane a whack on the head for leaving you alone like that. No, it wasn't on purpose. I really don't know where she is. You two are playing with your You two were playing with your phones when I saw you. Can't you message her? I can, but... Gio hesitated. It felt stupid to put into words. I don't know if we're close enough for that. Pompulin sighed. I'll spare you from being a whack today. Sorry. Will you stay with me while I eat? I don't want to eat at the barracks. Of course I will. I'm not so sure how to sound sweet about taking her order, though. Pompulin left. Can you get me something from over, please? Yeah, what do you want? I can take your order. If anyone else wants something from Burgder, I can hook you all up. I got those crazy Wibble bucks. I've got loyalty points. Are you allowed to pick something for me? I don't know a lot of the food here. That's the first time I've ever been asked. Let me think. If I could eat, I'd have this one. Pompulin pointed to an image of an enormous hamburger and a chocolate milkshake. I'm sure, statistically, this is the best meal for cheering someone up. Humans like indulgence. Okay. Oh! Oh! The burger looks as sopping wet as she does. Oh! Oh, can I have a Wibble burger and a hug, please? Thank you. Absolutely. I will get that to you on the double. I don't have a burger. I don't have burger emoji, but I have this. Can you still pump it? Okay, so I would normally say yes. However, I would like to still be able to go to this Wibble burger. I would like to not be banned from Wibble burger, and I think doing that will get me banned from Wibble burger very fast. But know that if my Wibble burger loyalty was not on the line, I would consider it. Thank you for the bits, by the way. I forgot to say thank you, but I will get you that Wibble burger. No, I will get banned if I steal Pompulin. That will get me super banned from Wibble burger, and I'm not. I want to still go to Wibble burger. But it'll be worth it, I think. But she's gonna be mad at me. She's gonna be. Everybody at Wibbleburger is gonna hate me, and I can't bear to think about the Wibbleburger employees hating me because I stole one of them. I couldn't do that. That would be a greater weight on me than killing Jillians. I'm glad you understand. I'm glad you get it. Gio sniffled, doing her best to fit the oversized hamburger in her mouth. There. Eat up and you'll grow big and strong, Pompulin cooed. Gio couldn't help but let out a little snort laugh. It's really good, she murmured through a mouthful of burger. I told you. Not that I know myself. I'm sorry for crying, Gio said. I think most adults come here so they can cry, Pompulin replied. That's a little depressing. You think so? I think it's healthy. Everyone has to cry sometimes. I don't like crying, Gio whined. Don't soldiers get punished for crying? You're the only soldier here. When I was little, I was always punished for crying. That's a terrible thing, Pompulin murmured. I'm not here to punish you, so eat up and cry as much as you need to, okay? okay. Gio sniffled. Burgder. Oh, Lilac Fleet, Special Division Dragoon Command. Foyer. Fuck. Fuck, I want a burger now. God, guys, I want a burger now. I forgot. Okay, so I got a burger. I got a burger for you, Kita, but also I forgot to get a burger for myself. So I will have to take a second trip back to Wibbleburger. Well, that's fine. More time in Wibbleburger. I can't complain about that. Gio slowly made her way up the steps into the foyer. She had no more excuses for avoiding the base. She couldn't be absent again for dinner either. It was just like at school. She couldn't help herself coming back, but she could still avoid being given a gun. She could keep avoiding it forever, probably. How could anyone prove she didn't have it? After today, nobody was going to think about it. They just assumed she'd already received one. Could they punish her for not having one? Was there any specific regulation stating she had to be armed outside of her dragoon? She felt like she was being watched from behind as she stepped through the gate. Her every thought was inviting that exact kind of punishment. Her unease around the issue was going to give her away. All anyone would have to do is ask if she had received a firearm, and she'd break into a sweat immediately. She was going to get caught any second now. Gio froze at the sight of Hill exiting the offices. In just a few seconds, she had been caught. Rosales. Hill raised her hand to beckon Gio over. Yes, ma'am. Gio darted over to her. Also, I love this look, by the way, with like the little it's so cute. I love these like little overall straps and like the little shorts, and she is so cute. She deserves to be sent to the Wibble machine, I think. Hill looked down at her for a moment before she spoke. She knew Gio had run away. She'd probably been looking for her that whole time. When Gio met Hill's gaze, she was somewhat shocked by the expression looking back at her. She wasn't at all the picture of fury or disappointment Gio was expecting. What was Hill thinking as she looked at her? As you heard this morning, the base is returning to normal operations. Yes. As such, you are to be formally issued your service pistol. Come with me. According to your file, you already have a firearm certification. Is that correct? Yes, ma'am. Class 4. That makes this process simpler, then. Gio followed behind her dutifully. She was expecting curses and abuse, but instead it seemed like a great melancholy was hanging over the lieutenant. When they arrived at her door, Hill only gave a brief instruction to wait outside. What did I say? I said like 3 different words there, I feel like. Oh, I opened up Renpai by mistake. Renpai. No. Close Renpai. I'm not working on X's right now, which, by the way, I did resume dev work on X's. I might share a little thing I've been working on after things. But anyways, Gio stood in silence, waiting for her return. An unusual amount of time had begun to pass for picking up a single object. The lieutenant eventually returned, holding. What is wrong with me right now? The lieutenant eventually returned, holding a black handgun, staring at it in her hand. Hill closed her eyes for a moment and took a breath, as if recalling her lines from a script. You will have received the regulations on sidearms in your orientation materials, but I'd like to reiterate them in person. Pilots are issued handguns for self-defense only, and they are to be kept in their quarters until they are taken on missions. Leaving the base with any firearm without appropriate cause is a severe offense. Applications must be made before making use of the firing range. Hill spoke mechanically. She was angry, but not at Geo. Her eyes met Geo's. That is to say, keep it in your quarters and only remove it when instructed to do so. Am I clear? Yes, ma'am. Geo nodded, holding her hand out to receive the weapon. Oh, this looks so fucking cool. This looks so fucking cool. I wanna know how Ivy did this. Like, this looks so fucking cool. Do you have your holster? Hill asked, placing the gun in Gio's hand. Not on me, no. Hill let out a short sigh. Why? She cut herself short. Right. You never received the instruction. Put it in your bag, then. I can go and get it. I don't think I should. I'm not waiting here for you. But what if it goes off? Are you certified or not? I am. Then you know how to handle it. Just take it back to your quarters. And try to have some discretion about it. Yes, ma'am. You're dismissed. Hill left immediately. Gio couldn't understand the look on her face. Gio stuffed the handgun into her bag immediately, terrified at the thought of being seen holding it. Gio shut and locked the door behind her. Her breath was short and rapid. It felt like being made to commit a crime. She was carrying something terrible. She slung the bag over her shoulder, gently lowering it onto the table. She didn't even check the safety. She had to get rid of this thing. Slowly reaching into the bag, her hands gripped around the plastic and metal until she found the safe end of it. Gio's hand shook lightly around the gun as she pulled it out. Gio had to make sure it wouldn't fire. She didn't even check before putting it in her bag. Examining it for an external safety, her implanted memory told her it didn't even have one. Before she could raise her disgust at how such a thing was ever put into production, her memory answered her. It was an intentional feature. It was a gun designed for cops and soldiers to kill if they instantly unholstered it, without a moment of hesitation. Another specific purpose. How could she have put something like this in her bag so haphazardly? If the trigger caught on anything, then... But Hill knew that too, and told her to do it anyway. Gio herself knew what the gun was the second she laid eyes on it, but she did it anyway. Her distorted train of thought had begun to catch up to how the gun felt in her hand the whole time, and why she put it in her bag without a thought. It was far too light. Her hands moving automatically, Gio pressed the magazine release and cautiously slid it out. The magazine was empty. Pulling the slide back revealed the same inside the chamber. A mix of relief and trepidation tugged at her from both ends. The gun wouldn't fire. But what did it say that they wouldn't give her any bullets? Lilac Fleet, Special Division Dragoon Command, Cafeteria. Gio stood waiting in line for dinner, staring at the selections of meals behind the glass to avoid meeting anyone's line of sight. She couldn't shake the feeling that she'd been marked somehow, and everyone around her could see it. A shiver ran down her spine. She'd been a target before. They don't issue bullets with the weapon till the range. No, it's not. Or till for deployment, I guess. I see. I do think it's like interesting to explore how Gio interprets like such a thing as well here. You know, that she only knows so much about things. In that this is her Uh, that's her perception of the situation. That's a good bit to know as well, because that's something that I didn't know myself. A shiver ran down her spine. She'd been a target before. In the early learning center, she'd be harassed while waiting for meals, just like this. Without gravity to plant one's feet, the lines while waiting for meals and such were kept straight by grabbing the shoulder of the child in front of you. Except it had become a popular joke among the children to refuse to touch Geo. She was dirty, diseased, sick, and contagious. It was easy enough to get rid of her. Just stick the mouthpiece of an unwanted liquid ration onto her collar and squeeze. Then Geo would be forced to bathe instead of getting her meal, and nobody would have to touch her while they waited in line. Geo bit her lip. Why did she keep doing this to herself? She never lived her life in the present. She knew she was doing it, but how was she meant to stop? I mean, if you've been really just saying. Oh. I see. She couldn't stop her dreams from playing back those memories and dinging it all back up again. Do you mind if I cut in? A familiar voice asked from behind Geo. Be my guest. The pilot behind Geo sighed, looking at Susie's officer pins and taking a step back. I found you. Susie smiled down at Geo. Susie? Geo asked, surprised. I thought we should have dinner together. Yeah. Susie and Geo sat down together on the far edge of the room, away from the territory claimed by the Dragoon pilots. Geo had gotten a plate of spaghetti and meatballs again. It seemed popular enough to be served every day. Lucky for her. Geo hesitated. If you're going to talk about what I think you're going to talk about, I won't be able to eat. I'm serious. Susie let out a weak laugh, caught off guard. Of course. Let's eat first, then. I guess, to switch topics, have you seen Midorikawa today by any chance? Susie asked, arranging her plate. Geo shook her head. No, I haven't. She's been absent all day. I think she's trying to avoid being reprimanded for skipping assembly. Though now she's dug quite a hole for herself. Susie sighed. Consume fluid? I will do that. I'll take a fucking glug real quick. I knew that. Thank you. You probably get the idea already, but this is pretty standard behavior for her. Yeah, I can imagine. Sorry, I won't distract you. Let's see. No, it's okay. It's good to have company when I eat. Unrelated, but I think Ivy jokes about wanting to write up mahjongs. I've seen once or twice. Yes. Oh my god, that'd be great. I like in the back of my mind. I remember seeing those tweets a while ago, and in the back of my mind, while I was like reading through Higurashi last year, I was like, oh, I should learn mahjong. I should learn the ways. I think that would rule. I support the inclusion of mahjong scene. So, Susie began to speak. Why couldn't you have just told me? Gio cut her off. Susie looked back at her for a moment. Gio felt awful for snapping at her. Because there are strict regulations regarding these things. I can only do what I'm allowed to do. Even for a pilot, this is one of the few things you can't walk away from with just a slap on the wrist. I know that's not an excuse, but we can't break this rule. It's prohibited to even compile data on the suicides of soldiers, let alone publish it. Officers must never confirm when it's happened, even in conversation. I didn't know. Normally, they're treated as accidental deaths or reported as KIA. This is what families are told too. In this case, what General Lang said today was an exception. By confiscating pilot's sidearms, Special Division responded to Grazi's death in a manner that acknowledged its nature. Of course, I supported this. These policies are abhorrent. We didn't want another incident. And so, as you heard this morning, as punishment for the division, her death has now been marked as desertion. Normally, they wouldn't go so far, but since she had no relatives, there's no need for a polite cover story. I expect all her records are going to be expunged. She'll have never been a pilot in the first place. They're still deciding what's going to happen to me and the other squadron leaders for it. I'm sorry you got caught up in all this. As far as room assignments go, I'm afraid that was just bad luck. It's a random number set by a computer. The officers and personnel don't know which rooms have stories like that, or histories like that. They can't access that information, since it doesn't exist in the first place. There's a hole in the tiles of the shower. From where it happened, Gio murmured. Susie gave Gio a placid look, removing her glasses for a moment. Oh, for fuck's sake! Susie spat. That fucking Clemens! Sorry. I shouldn't curse. Rare Susie angry moment. A rare occurrence. The planets aligned for that to happen. It's okay. I'll make sure it's fixed properly. Don't trouble yourself over it. I'm really, really sorry. It's not your fault. I'm sorry this has been quite the crash course in how mismanaged this whole place is. Yeah. Gio rubbed her neck. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. Gio stared at the floor. Yeah, I will. Lilac Fleet Special Division Dragoon Command Foyer. I just keep stumbling over my words here. I'm gonna take another little sippy. There is no religion in the world Gio grew up in, but all the familiar terms stuck around regardless. Morality plays about sin and evil were still commonly recited, the necessary language for understanding the ancient earth. Even if the Lilac had no belief in a god, they held on to every scrap of history they could find and all that came with it. Karma, fate, sin, and judgment all remained in the collective psyche. Making a deal with the devil. For the first time, Gio felt she'd truly understand what that meant. Nobody in those stories ever actually got what they wanted. Purpose of excursion? A bored-looking gate guard asked Gio. I just wanted to go for a walk. The guard eyed her suspiciously. You don't have the authority to stop me, do you? I can't go back to that room, and I can't keep walking in circles around the base. I can't sleep. I can't do anything. But where can I go? If I just keep walking, what will happen? Will I be arrested? Will nothing happen at all? Animal shape. I feel like I'm having a baby sensory moment whenever I see something and I'm like, Wibble Burger, animal shapes. Geo found herself wandering through the arcade outside the base. She walked from aisle to aisle of the machines, pretending she was deciding on something to play. Ayane wasn't here either. Why was she still hoping to run into her by chance? If she just messaged Ayane, she would answer. She knew that. Gio sat down on the stiff couch, fidgeting with her phone. Who up wibbling they burger? Who's up wibbling? Hi Jean. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you are doing well. We're walking around with Gio. Just having a nice little walk. Gio sat down on the stiff couch, fidgeting with her phone. It all just felt like too much to say. She didn't want to find out the limits of their friendship so quickly. If she wanted to be a good friend to her, the least she could do is learn to take care of herself. She knew that thought was just cruel self-justification the second it passed through her head. Really, she knew Ayane cared about her. She knew she'd listen. But she already had people like that, people she'd known for years. She spent her whole life fantasizing about what her life was going to be like aboard the ship. She wanted to spend her life with the people she already knew, with the friendships she'd already nurtured in the places she had been told so much about. She'd had them, and she had lost them all. Her life wasn't meant to be like this. She wasn't meant to be relying on somebody she'd only just met. She wasn't meant to be living here as a soldier. I'm no good at making friends. And frankly, I don't want to be making friends at this age to begin with. When I was younger, the only friends I had, I made online. They all lived here, aboard this ship. They were kind, supportive people. I met them at the worst point of my life, and I only really made it through because of them. I spent all the time I could chatting with them, getting to know them, their interests, their dislikes. I was getting to know myself too, as best as I could. We all loved dissecting shows, cartoons, video games. We all wanted to make things. They gave me the confidence to start writing. They were the only people to ever read any of it. At first, we only knew each other through our screen names, but it wasn't long before we shared everything about ourselves with each other. Personally, I never liked taking pictures of myself and didn't have a good enough internet to make video calls. I wasn't really confident enough either. Even just using my voice felt too hard. But still, even if I couldn't participate myself, it was nice to see their faces. These wonderful friends who didn't know my face or the sound of my voice. At first, that didn't matter. We were all sad, lonely kids who bonded over shared interests. Who else were we gonna bond with but people like us? As we got older, slowly but surely, the way they talked to each other began to change. Before I knew it, out of my sight, they were starting to meet in real life too. It never even occurred to me. I knew that was impossible for me right from the start, so I just assumed it was for everyone else too. I never asked where any of them lived. In the end, I was the only odd one out, stuck outside the walls of this ship. I thought, even in my fantasies, if I really met these people, I wouldn't be as comfortable as I hoped I'd be. I was scared of speaking to anyone. But they all did just fine. They all changed. They all got more confident. They found jobs, went to school, made friends, and found partners. They became real, accomplished human beings. Names of people, places, last Friday, that one weekend, all began to slip into our shared conversations. I was so far away, on the other side of the fleet. I wanted to talk more and more, but they all had less and less time for it. The people around me were all cold and cruel. I was never able to understand them, and they never understood me. But with these friends, I always felt understood. They listened to me. They all felt sorry for me. They all had sympathy for me. They all told me, "Wish you were here." I know what kind of world it's possible to live in. A world of comfort, support, love, and kindness. A world where your friends help you move a bed frame into your new apartment. A world where you stay up late together working on manuscripts and sketches. A world where you play fight over who's going to be the bridesmaid at the wedding. A world where you can cry in front of someone and not be laughed at. I know, but I only know secondhand. They are all misfits, like me. That's how we all gravitated to each other. None of us got along with our families, not that I had one. We weren't doing well in school, and we were scared of society in the future. We obsessed over the same things, shared our creative work with each other, developed our own weird little language. I have so many stupid phrases and in-jokes stuck in my head now that I can't share with anyone anymore. The way they talked about finding each other was like having a real family for the first time. I felt it too, at least for a while. Once they became adults, they went to the same universities, rented share houses together, helped each other find jobs in the same areas. They lived together, worked together, made art together. A lot of them started dating, even getting married. We were scared of the world and got by because we made one of our own. And when that world became real, I wasn't there to live in it. What used to be the main way we all spoke to each other became secondary material. The final few words shared together before bed or arranging a get-together for the next day. They didn't need chat rooms for actual conversation anymore. As they spent more time in the real world, they found their own way of connecting to it. Gay bars, libraries, galleries, convention halls, PC cafes, hobbyist clubs, music venues. A university was like a whole little world in itself. All these formative memories they made with each other. I didn't exist in any of them. I wonder, at what point did I become just a fan of them instead of their friend? I don't exist in anyone's memory. I'm not a part of anyone's life. I haven't laid down my roots anywhere. I don't have a decade's worth of knowing anyone. Do I even really exist in this world? I threw it all away when I left for the military. I scrubbed every account. I was sick of seeing it. I was sick of being a hanger-on to these people's lives, so much more real than my own. I lost my phone and laptop in that shuttle, so even if there was a way to get any of it back, it's all just space debris now. They probably all think I'm dead. I'd said enough miserable things over the years. Even though I fulfilled my dream of living on the ship, I didn't want to be in any of them. None of them would even recognize me anyway. How am I meant to face any of them wearing this uniform? They all hated the war and hated the military. I hated it too. I still hate it. I hate it more than any of them could even imagine. But unlike them, I wasn't born here. So, what choice did I have in the end? You can't even visit without a permit. Citizenship was a pipe dream. Now I'm here, all by myself. What exactly was my plan with all this? I'd do my time in the military, and that was my way in. I'd survive somehow. I'd have enough money to buy a home, hopefully. I'd try to pick up on useful skills, get a job, start a business. I don't know. Either way, the easiest way to make money is to already have a bunch of it. Ayane was right about that much. But those roots that take a decade or even longer to grow, I won't have those. I won't have anyone waiting for me once I'm there. I'm surviving, but I need more than this. I'm not an animal. I need safety and security. I need real help. I need to stop waking up from nightmares screaming and begging for my life. More than anything, I need a community. I need people. I need a family. I have to stay in this miserable fucking place, risking my life for a nation I don't believe in, just so I can start from scratch later than everyone else. Am I even capable of that? Am I going to blow my brains out before I get there? And even if I can, will anyone need me? Those people I wanted to be with, who grew up around others, loved others, formed communities with others, they already found all that, long before I arrived. Fuck, man. I'm just gonna lay back and steeple my hands together. Just for a moment. I'm gonna take a little sippy. Deeply devastatingly Gio here, but also I do have to say. At what age, Gio? 5? No, yeah, that whole bit is like I want to convey myself with words, and then I started nodding my head, and then I was like, oh wait, you can't see that. I have my PNG tuber on. Gianna Yana need to do cosplay together or something. They do. I wholeheartedly agree. But yeah, that feeling of like not being like a real tangible being and just kind of like living within this sort of e-space that like slowly gives away is like I feel it. I feel that's yeah. Coquette's pretty good. Gio looked down over the barrier toward a pair of train tracks about 3 stories down. The cold air stung her face. They probably all think I'm dead. What difference would it make if I really was? I don't need a gun to do it. I could jump from here face first. It would split my head open or break my neck. It'd be over pretty much instantly. Would I be better off that way? How long would it take for someone to notice? The trains are most likely automated. She pictured the next train that passed through here hitting her dislocated, crumpled body, splattering it into pieces. By the time morning came, there'd be nothing left of me. Like being strangled from behind, she jolted backwards and staggered to keep her footing. The image splashed across her mind of laying on those train tracks, still alive after her fall, blood pouring from her wounds, her limbs twisted and broken, bone protruding through her flesh, begging for someone to rescue her, begging herself to take back that stupid decision, the light of the oncoming train thundering towards her. Her knees buckled, and she fell into a crouch, wrapping her arms around her head and stifling a scream. I don't want to die! I don't want to die! I don't! Gio hit herself across the face. I can't think that. I can't. She clutched her face, breathing deeply. Just calm down. Calm down, okay? How could she treat death so lightly? There were countless times she had been hurt so badly it could have killed her. Even just recently, drifting through that battlefield, she didn't want to die. She knew for certain that she wanted to be alive more than anything. So why do I still think things like this? I know I want to live. I know. What the fuck is wrong with me? I made it here alive, didn't I? Why am I feeling this way now? I don't want to be alone. I can't spend time with someone without freaking out completely. Everyone I meet thinks I'm ill. Everyone. Everyone except Ayane. But I'm scared. There's nothing inside me, and when she realizes that, it's all over. I'm not cute at all. I'm a rotting corpse in human skin. Gio ran her hands through her hair, fighting the urge to wind it in her fist and pull. Runaway thoughts cascaded like space debris, every insult to herself splintering into the next. More than anything, she wanted a pair of arms to gently wrap around her from behind, a soft voice to tell her things were going to be okay. She breathed in and began counting before exhaling, crossing her arms and gripping her shoulders. It's okay. It's all okay. She mouthed the words to herself. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Exhale for 8. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just scared. I'm scared of flying again. I'm scared of what happened to that girl. I'm scared of being around people all the time. I've never lived a life connected to others. Every connection I've ever had just feels like another layer of role play. I was never really their friend. It was all just a game we all played because it made us feel better. They got something real out of it, but I couldn't. That's why I stopped writing. I don't know a thing about it, about life, about other people. I wrote about love. I wrote about bodies. I wrote about beauty. I wrote about intimacy, friendship, closeness. But no matter how much I tried to escape into writing, there were people who really got to live like the characters I wrote. I could never beat them. But I can still change. I have to believe that, right? What did I come here for otherwise? She rubbed her shoulders up and down, imagining it as that unseen figure holding her from behind, and felt pathetically lonely every time she did it. But she had no choice but to cling to the things that calmed her down. One new message. Gio. Oh. Oh, Gio. Oh, Gio. Gio, I'm wishing Gio a very recover. You can do this, Gio. You can do this. Gio flinched, a sudden sound snapping her out of her thoughts. Was it her pager? Was she being told to come back to the base? Gio rifled through her pocket, digging out her pager. There was nothing on it. Her hand moved to the other pocket. It was the pink phone she bought with Ayane, and on it was the first message it had received. You awake? I am, yeah. What's up? I love these little icons so much. Ayane taking a picture of her cute little cactus, and then Gio cute, rotund, small little baby bunny. Can't sleep. Do you want to come over? I want to watch more of that cartoon you showed me. I'll be a while. Is that okay? Take your time, babe. Mwah. Lilac Fleet, Special Division Dragoon Command, Pilot Barracks, Room. I was too slow. I might actually be a second. I'll be right back. I'll need just a moment. Thank fucking God for Ayane. So true. Ayane's a real one. Ugh. Stretch out those legs. I'll be right back. Ba 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 ba. Oh my god, my chair is loud as fuck. My chair is screaming at me. All right, I'm gonna. Gio, you have to listen to me. You have to live. Grabs her shoulders with white knuckled grip. You have to live. Gio stood at Ayani's door, hand hovering over the doorbell. What was she meant to say to her? Why am I just standing here like an idiot? Beep boom. Yippee! Try not to cry listening to this one changed me. Yes, no, yes. I'm very excited to read through this scene. I like this scene a lot. I like it a lot. I will hold my tongue. That last scene is like a lot, and this scene is okay. I'm gonna shut up. Hi. Ayane gleefully greeted Gio as she entered. Hi. You don't look so hot, Ayane observed. And something happened? Not really. I can tell that's a lie. Ayane rubbed her neck. Sorry. I take it you've had a pretty rough day. All the more reason to hang out with me, yeah? Ayane grinned down at Gio. Yeah. Fuck, I want a burger so fucking bad. Ayane flopped onto her bed, gesturing for Gio to join her. Come on, you can talk to big sis Ayane. Gio slowly ambled over to the space beside her. She curled up against the wall with her knees tucked to her chest. Where were you today? Gio asked quietly. I just went for a walk. Fell asleep around lunch in a park. Ayane shrugged. Just one of those days, I guess. Yeah. Ayane examined Gio's expression. Do you want to tell me about your day? I don't know. Answer like that makes me even more curious what's going on. Just tell me what's on your mind. I don't care what it is, Ayane urged. Everyone thinks I'm a fuck-up, Gio murmured. Hey, well, welcome to the club, Ayane laughed. Gio did not laugh. All right, bad joke, Ayane grimaced. I don't think you're a fuck-up. Gio wrung her hands together. When you texted me, I was thinking of jumping onto the train tracks. I was looking right at them. Gio couldn't help but laugh. I couldn't do it. Obviously. What the fuck am I saying? That isn't funny, Ayane said softly. Lieutenant Hill thinks I'm gonna do it. She's been thinking that this whole time. Susie too, probably. Ayane recoiled. I don't think Susie thinks that. I don't think that. It already happened, though. With Claire. She did it in my room and nobody told me. Ayane's eyes widened. They gave me a gun today without any bullets. Gio laughed. I'm not dumb enough to miss the message? Gio, you should stay here for the night, okay? Ayane asked slowly. Gio wanted to snap back something stupid at her, but the look in Ayane's eyes stopped her in her tracks. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said all that. Gio said quietly. No. It's okay. Just... Ayane's voice cracked. Fuck. I don't know what to say. I don't want you to die, Gio. And I'm sorry I didn't tell you about Claire. I got put on leave when it happened. Ayane explained. Oh, I knew it would just... make you feel how I felt. I didn't know if I should tell you or how to tell you or Ayane pleaded. That that isn't an excuse, I know. Gio looked at her, alarmed. You're crying. Of course I'm fucking crying, Ayane barked. Do you have any idea what you just said to me? Fuck. I'm sorry. Ayane lowered her voice. I care about you. I really care about you. Ayane clutched her knees. I'm sorry I wasn't there today. I'm really, really sorry. I could have just messaged you, Gio said, but I didn't. You can always text me, or call me, or whatever. Ayane wiped her face on her shirt collar. I'm sorry, Ayane croaked. I didn't know I'd react like that. You're here and you're alive. That's the important part, she said, taking a deep breath. If you're angry at me for not telling you about her, that's okay. I'm not, Gio answered quickly. I just couldn't bring myself to message you. I don't know why. I just couldn't. And I'm sorry for just blurting all that out. I didn't mean to. She trailed off. That was just really selfish. Without a word of reply, Ayane tackled Gio onto the bed. Her body heaved with sobs as she clung to her. Why was Ayane the one crying right now? Ayane? Ayane drew a long breath in. You really, really pissed me off sometimes, she choked. It's like you've already forgotten everything I said yesterday. But I don't care if you don't believe me, because I'll just say it as many times as I have to. I don't want you to disappear. I don't want you to leave me here alone. I can't say that to anyone but you. Haven't you figured that out yet? Ayane was right about all of it. Gio had been acting like yesterday never happened at all. She'd laughed about hurting herself right in front of her, as if it didn't matter at all. I hate flying, Ayane spat. I hate waking up every day wondering if I'm going to get killed. I hate every fucking officer and every fucking pilot on this base. But I like you. I like every day I spend with you. You can't get matching phones with me and then go kill yourself. Tears rolled down Gio's face. She raised her arms to Ayane's back, hugging her in turn. I'm so sorry, Gio sobbed. Why had she said all that to her? It felt like waking up from a dream only to find out she'd really done everything in it. She had no excuse to give Ayane. Of course hearing that would hurt her. Why didn't she think that? Just how inhuman was she in her own mind? Did she think Ayane would laugh with her about it? Gio could finally see the obvious, but it was too late to take any of it back. It was a long time before Ayane spoke again. Her body was so warm, but Gio still shivered beneath her. She knew Ayane hated it when she apologized to her over and over, but Gio did it anyway. Gio, it's okay, Ayane said, sniffling. It's not okay, Gio sobbed. I didn't expect to cry like that, Ayane murmured. I didn't either. I just really care about you. Ayane rubbed Gio's back. I need you to know that. But, well, I don't want you to feel so guilty either. I'm not mad at you. I should feel guilty, I'm being really fucking crazy. Gio. Ayane whacked Gio's shoulder. Ow! Ayane sighed. I don't want to hear you say things like that either. Yeah, I'm sorry. Ayane raised herself back up and took a deep breath. It's not like I don't get it. I think about that kind of thing too. I always have. So, yeah. And I think being here, you're bound for a complete mental breakdown sooner rather than later. You can talk to me. I know it's about more than Claire. I know you've been pretty on edge since you got here. Sorry. And I don't care what it is. I just want you to just say it's... I don't want you to just say it's nothing and move along. Everyone knows that trick, and it doesn't work. I know... You've probably seen stuff I can't even imagine growing up out there. I can't picture a life at all. But I still want to listen. I don't care if it's completely fucked up or whatever. This place is too much to deal with alone, and I want to think we can talk to each other if we're both stuck here together. If we don't have even that, then... Ayane trailed off. Just, please. I'm really begging you to talk to me here. Shio looked down at her hands. She was squeezing her fingers together until they hurt. It was so scary to talk, even a little. But she had no other choice. She'd worried over and over about the ways she might hurt Ayane, but it never even crossed her mind she'd do it by being so distant to her. When it was put in front of her, it was so obvious. Ayane wanted her trust. Of course she'd be hurt by Gio refusing to believe in her. I don't know if it's really about things before. I mean, it is a little. I want things to feel better here. But now I just feel worse than ever. I woke up this morning and vomited all over myself. How have you done this for so long? Gio asked. Ayane exhaled deeply. I don't know. I really don't. I hated being at home, but yeah, I didn't expect to feel homesick for that. I indulge myself in whatever I want to do and enjoy having the money, but you know that. This place is miserable. But I want to be here still. I want you to be here. Yeah. I feel like I want to go home, but I don't have anywhere to go back to. Everyone can probably tell that. I don't belong here. Don't say that. I'm not talking about the army, Gio muttered. I don't want to enjoy being a soldier. It's this whole ship. I only just realized. You know what I'm reminded of being here? The Early Learning Center. You don't have those here, do you? I don't think we do. But I can take a guess at what it is, yeah. Ayane said dryly. I don't have any family. I don't even know my mother's face, what her voice sounded like, anything. I've never lived in the same place for more than a year or two. I didn't even have friends. I wasn't leaving anyone behind coming here. I had people I knew online. I talked to them every day. They lived on this ship. But I couldn't do it anymore. I deleted everything when I left to come here. I couldn't tell them I'd become a soldier, and I don't know. It's all so stupid. I don't have anyone except Fufi. And now she can't stand to even look at me. You've got me, don't you? Ayane smiled. And online friends are still friends. It sucks to lose them. I did the same thing, you know. I couldn't read my old friends' fucking cosplay blogs anymore. Watching them all have fun made me sick. I don't like looking back on when I left. I think that's pretty understandable. Yeah, I didn't really tell you what Hill spoke to me about. They know I'm not eating, and I don't know. It's like there's this huge misunderstanding I can't clear up, but I can't deny it, all of it either. I do have problems with eating, and I have hurt myself in the past. It's been a while since I really did it, but I don't like getting undressed in front of people, so whenever I'm in the changing rooms, I do in the shower where Susie can't see me. And she thinks, I seem depressed and I'm hiding my skin. People notice that and think I'm... Gio paused, cutting myself or something. And I have a lot of scars, but it's not from that. I got hurt a lot in space in my work before I came here. Debris impacts, things like that. I don't like people seeing it. Yeah. Ayane nodded. I get that. Gio slowly pulled back her sleeve, revealing a jagged scar running down her arm. This is from work. But if Susie saw it, she'd probably think I did it to myself. So I can't get changed when she's there, and that makes her more suspicious. But I can't say I'm doing very well, or that she's really wrong. I want to hurt myself all the time. I just don't like being looked at like that. There you go, Jill. You can say words. Everyone here thinks I'm hopeless. Gio, believe me, I know the feeling. I think this is why I don't really get along with Susie. She means well, but I was a pretty messed up teenager, and Ayane bit her lip for a moment. I said yesterday how I'd wear long sleeves and all that. I guess that was putting it pretty lightly. When my mom found out what was going on with me, she put me in inpatient for a while. It wasn't like involuntary. I wasn't dragged there. But, I didn't really have a choice. The way Susie talks to me kind of reminds me of the staff there. She's a good person, but she can be a little cold in how she shows her concern for people. Honestly, this whole place reminds me of being there, being studied by people. So, I hear what you're saying. I promise. Gio hung her head. I had no idea you'd gone through all that. I don't think it's a thing you can really intuit. Ayane laughed lightly. It's okay. Or, if people can tell, they won't do anything good with it. I think it is really fucked up to feel like... How do I put it? Ayane paused. Being branded as a struggling person, but at the same time wanting the parts that are real to be understood. I had to write an essay on that. Ayane sighed. How I wanted to hide everything from people at the same time. I wanted their attention. Yeah. Gio sniffled. I don't like being looked at that way. I don't like how I appear to people. Everyone can always tell what I'm thinking, and it freaks me out. Everyone knows what's wrong with me. Why I have foofy, why I look so freaked out all the time. But I can't understand anyone else at all, and I don't get to have any secrets. I feel so pathetic in front of everybody. I don't think you're pathetic. I've never thought that. I know how I come across. I am kind of a bitch. But I don't want you to feel like I'm setting you up for being made fun of. I don't know how to stop thinking everyone looks down on me. This might sound a little harsh, but I don't mean it as an insult. I guess I've gotten the sense that you're scared of being judged the way children judge each other. Even if it feels like we're in high school, we're all adults here. People are more understanding than you might think. Like I said, I'm not waiting for you to slip up so I can start bullying you. And I think you're better at understanding people than you think you are, too. Sorry if that's off the mark. Ayane raised her hands apologetically. It seems like giving this sort of pep talk had surprised her, too. Gio shook her head. No, not at all. You're right. But I don't want to be a person that has to be told something as simple as that. Ayane groaned. My point is that it's okay if you are. I think it'd be a pretty fucking cold world if there's no room for learning that stuff. I don't think I'm exactly a very loving person. I've always been allergic to the idea of being dependent on by somebody. But when I look at you, I think I just want you to feel looked after. And I want you to feel like it's okay to ask for that. Gio sniffled. I hate feeling clingy or needy or... Ayane let out a short sigh. I wish you would be a lot more clingy, is what I'm saying. You can lean on me. I promise that's okay. Yeah. We're adults. We can talk about things if they start feeling screwy or too much or whatever. I don't like seeing you feeling so scared of people. I'm scared of me. Whenever I give you a hug, you flinch. I don't mean to. I like hugging. I always want to ask for a hug, but when I do, I start freaking out. I know it isn't wrong to think something like that, but it feels like it's something really disgusting to ask for. I feel really disgusting thinking it. I'm a grown girl and I know how to set boundaries, Ayane sighed. And I don't think you're disgusting. You can hug me whenever you want. Ayane contemplated for a moment. How about this? Ayane got up and walked over to her desk. Gio watched her scrawl something in a notepad and rip out the page. Ayane sat down beside Gio again. Here. Gio took the note. It's so nice. Guys, they mean a lot to me. They mean a lot to me. Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm owned. Okay. No, I'm gonna keep it together. Ayane hugging license, unlimited uses. Gio read off. Wow. Oopsie. Gio read off the words. Coquette is so fucking good. If you want to steal my identity, that is my real signature, Ayane said with a grin. Stick it in your wallet so you don't forget it. Ayane, Gio whimpered. I'm the best, aren't I? Ayane smiled. Oh, come here, you big baby. Ayane sat cross-legged, gesturing for Gio to come closer. Gio timidly moved closer to her before Ayane grabbed her under the arms and pulled her in. Is that so scary? I like hugs. I like hugging Gio. You're like a stuffed toy. Gio whined in response. Really, though. I don't want you to feel scared of me. I don't either, Gio murmured, leaning into Ayane's shoulder. I feel like I can't control my thoughts at all. Ayane laughed a bit. Neither can I. Ayane squeezed Gio tightly. It helps to know. This means as much to me as it does to you, she murmured. I don't like being alone. I think... You know when people get described as like a broken vase that has to be filled over and over again? I think I'm like that. Well, that sounds a little cruel, but yeah. I need someone close so I can stay warm. And you are nice and warm. Gio whined into her shoulder again. I don't talk like this with anyone. Not even partners. But it's easy to say all that to you. I show mine and you'll show yours, as they say. I don't think that's quite right, Gio sighed. Feels pretty apt. I don't like people knowing I've hurt myself, but I told you before I even really realized what I was saying. It just felt like it was okay for you to know that about me. You're a nice girl. And I think being in this place, I guess I just don't see the point in trying to be so cool and distant. I've been thinking this whole time that, like, it usually takes me a lot longer to feel like I can be close to somebody. Close in the real way, I mean. But before, I was pretty confident in the length of my remaining lifespan. I don't want to talk about it any more than that. But you know what I'm getting at. I haven't had a single good day here until you arrived. So, yeah. I don't want to lose you. And I don't want you to feel unloved either. I guess now isn't the time to feel picky with my words. Gio sobbed weakly. You're so nice to me. Will you stay the night? Mm-hmm. Gio nodded. Ayane rubbed the back of Gio's head. I'm really glad. You can stay like this as long as you like. You still feel really tense. Sorry. Things get easier the more you do them. So take your time. I'm not that inexperienced, Gio sighed. Doesn't really sound like those past experiences were very loving. Ouch. Speaking from my own experience too, you know. It took me a long time to learn the difference. Yeah. Thought for a long time the smell of another person was something that really bothered me. When it wasn't really that I was annoyed over. You smell like baby powder, by the way. And I reek of perfume, I bet. Sums us both up pretty nicely, doesn't it? Ayane teased. Gio couldn't help but let out a snort laugh. You're smiling now. I think it's a little early to say we're best friends. But as my only friend, you have kind of won that one by default. And I like being touched. It's nothing big or complicated for me to give you a hug when you need one. If you want to hold hands, you can just grab them. You can sit in my lap, lean on my shoulder, whatever you want to do. If you need to cry on my shoulder, then cry. I want... Ayane paused for a moment. I want to have your trust. I just want you to believe it when I say I care about you. I don't want to hurt you is, well, maybe the least trustworthy thing a girl can ever hear, but I'm going to say that anyway. Gio laughed a little. Thanks. I don't want to be an intimidating person. Well, not to someone I actually like, at least. I mean, I think that's more me than you. I feel scared of people when things come naturally to them that don't for me. The things you say about hating the soldiers around here, I feel the same way, but I can't get angry or speak up even when I'm listening to you say the same. I don't know why, even when I know I'll be agreed with. I mean, I can talk about that stuff because I know you feel the same. I could tell just from the look on your face when I first met you. That kind of thing is scary to me too. I don't feel like I can read anyone that way. You don't have to be good with people for them to like you. And I think you're underselling yourself a bit. I can tell you watch people really closely. Sounds more like you can't trust your readings of people more than not having any insight to begin with. Oh. I never thought of it like that. Which, you know, there's terminology for that kind of thing. But enough of that. I don't want to play therapist. I don't know how to talk about this stuff without sounding like one either. It's kind of been making me a little sick this whole time, but I really don't have any words of my own for any of it. Ayane sighed. I don't like showing that side of myself. I really appreciate the things you said, though. I'm glad. I get caught up in my thoughts a lot. I don't know. You were right that I forget things quickly. I like spending time together. I really do. When I feel scared, all I can think about is how different everyone is from me. And it doesn't feel like I can believe anyone would want me as a friend. Goes without saying. But of course I want to be Gio's friend. Might sound a little simplistic, but when I was younger, I was scared of the feeling of, like, not being the right person. Didn't feel possible unless I was a perfect match. But how I feel is, what's nice about being friends with different people is they each come with their own kind of friendship. I don't want just a friend. I want to be friends with you. I want whatever that friendship looks like. Yane, Gio whined. I know. I probably seem like I'm a certain type. But I like getting to play the big sister for you. I'm older than you. Gio laughed weakly. Ayane laughed back. I have some choice words about that. But I like you like that. I feel kind of disturbed by my childishness lately, Gio muttered. I think it's nice to hang on to your individuality. Is that what it is? Gio is a little cutie pie that likes meatballs and stuffed toys, Ayane cooed, squeezing Gio. But I never felt like adults that act like children are very different from how I see you, Ayane said, interrupting Gio before she could disagree. You know, the kinds of girls that put in a perpetual baby voice so they don't have to take responsibility for anything, or people who always have a list of excuses ready for themselves about how they're underdeveloped and don't know any better. Liking childish things isn't being childish. You've always treated yourself as an adult. Gio sighed at herself. That feels a little hard to believe. And I do the baby voice thing. It's different. I can tell you one to be doted on, but you aren't thinking about wanting to be looked after without thinking about what you can give in return. When you said you wanted to protect me yesterday, it scared me because I knew you really meant it. And I really don't want you to... really don't want you doing any dangerous heroics. But I still appreciate hearing it. We'll look after each other out there, okay? Yeah, we will. Of course we will. Anyway, Gio is an interesting character because she wears pigtails and chain smokes. I think that was first made me like you. So true. And I think you've earned the right to ask for a little doting on. Ayane snuggled her head against Gio. Yane. Gio giggled a little. Like I said, you're like a critter. Can I say something stupid? Fire away. I felt kind of jealous of how you treat Pompilon. Well, just don't worry about that now. I'll make sure to annoy you just as much. Gio whined into Ayane's chest. They're so everything to me. They're kind of everything. They're kind of everything. Are you feeling a little better? Ayane asked. I feel a lot better. Not to be blunt about it, but I've got stuff we can eat together, Ayane suggested. Oh, I actually did eat kind of okay today. But I'll still eat with you, Gio said, smiling. I had lunch with Pompelon, actually. Ayane ruffled Gio's hair. You really did miss me. Come on, let's see what I have. Ayane scooted off of the bed. Let's see. Got plenty of frozen stuff to heat up, some leftover pizza. I can make you a sandwich. There's always the old reliable noodle cup. I've got all kinds of those. I still don't really know anything about food here. The fridge in my room is empty. How about these? Ayane took a box from the freezer. I'd say they're pretty easy to eat. Gio leant over to examine it. It was actually something she recognized. Frozen sausage rolls. These look nice. You like them? I hear they're pretty popular in ZOG. I haven't ever eaten them, actually. But I'd always heard they were good. You've been missing out, then. I have. Alright, let's find a plate. Ayane examined the messy kitchen. Sorry, no clean dishes. Give me a second. That's okay. Take your time. Ayane laughed at herself. Take a seat while I sort this out. Gio folded her arms on Ayane's table, watching her scrub at a plate. She felt a little bad about Ayane doing any kind of work on her behalf. Though Ayane complained the whole time, Gio still felt a little envious of how simple it was. Washing up after a meal was a room-wide affair in Zero G. I think I just realized why it's been so hard to eat, Gio said. Yeah? Have you ever heard of the phrase, microgravity food choice death? Gio asked. Can't say I have. Is it anything like that theory on lesbian sex? Ayane laughed. Gio sighed. I had a feeling you'd say that. It's a term that comes up in articles and studies sometimes. As far as anyone can tell, it dates back to the era of colony ships. And GOG. The gist is, living long-term in microgravity, eventually all a culture begins to care about with food is simplicity. You can eat a nice packaged sandwich, but then you have to pick breadcrumbs out of your hair, off your clothes, etc. It tastes good, but the next time you see one for sale, you just start to associate it with the discomforts it comes with. The novelty of anything wears off quickly if it comes with discomforts like that. And then it becomes hard to find that kind of food at all, since nobody wants to buy it anymore, and the effect spreads. People who go from life in gravity to short-term periods without it will put up with a lot to keep what's familiar to them. But on ships of people who've been there all their lives, all anyone eats is just cubed or liquid meals. Especially if there isn't a lot of time for eating and cleaning. I guess I'm just sort of thinking. We had sausage rolls at home, but I never ate any. It's not like there weren't things like hamburgers back home either. It just felt like a hassle. And it was expensive. It felt kind of pointless eating an imitation of the real thing stuffed into a wrapper. Made me kind of sad. And I guess I don't need to explain what a low residual diet means to a pilot. Gio laughed softly. Ugh. Yeah. Gio grimaced, taking a freshly cleaned plate to the microwave. Nobody likes to be an annoyance to get food everywhere either. We weren't allowed outside food in the ELC. Sorry, I just noticed I had weird blister on my wrist. Mysterious. We got punished a lot if something had to be cleaned up. That sucks. It did suck. Ayane put the frozen rolls in the microwave and slapped the door shut. I can see why it's been so hard for you, she murmured, sitting down beside Gio at the table. It's easier when I'm with you, though. Lunch yesterday was really nice. Ayane slung an arm around Gio's neck and pulled her close to ruffle her hair. And they say flattery gets you nowhere. Gio blushed, patting her hair back down. I'm getting used to this quickly, aren't I? Yippee! Really, though, I guess I thought coming here I'd be free from those habits. But it wasn't as simple as just a change of location. Ayane smiled. I'll get you used to proper food. I'm not sure what we eat is all that proper. But thanks. Gio smiled back at her. I guess I didn't think about what to wear. Gio sat down on Ayane's bed. My PJs need a wash, Gio said, pouting. Your onesie. My onesie, Gio whined. You're welcome to any of my clothing. I don't have any PJs, but my shirt should fit you. Doesn't feel right without that onesie, I take it. Ayane sighed. It doesn't. Gio sighed in agreement. I know you don't like to bare skin, but if you're worried about me seeing your absorbent underwear, Ayane made finger quotes. I already know. Gio? Oh, Gio began crying immediately. Hey, I'm not judging. I have to wear them for piloting too. Ayane laughed quickly. How did you find out? Oh, you're not exactly careful with your skirt. Sorry. Ayane! I mean, you were wearing tights yesterday at the bunks, but you're making it pretty hard not to look. Oh, Gio thought back on yesterday. Gio thought back on yesterday. She was in the bunks with Ayane and the diaper. Rest in peace, the diaper CG. I'll remember it. I didn't even notice. I'm such a fucking idiot. Gio groaned to herself. How many times have I done that? It's so fucking over! It's over! I'm fucking finished! It's over! It's so fucking over! Jillian needs to read Kaiji. Is it really such a big deal? Ayane giggled. Yes, I'm humiliated. I would have said something in class, but I had a feeling you'd react like this. Well, I know now. Gio moped. Oh, Gio. My life is over. Gio whined to herself. Again, is it really such a big deal? Gio flopped onto Ayane's bed. Yes, it's a big deal. Gio sniffled. Do you think I'm weird? Ayane smiled back at her. Of course I think you're weird. Ayane! What's wrong with being weird? I don't want to be weird. Okay, you aren't weird. Ayane sighed. I think I am weird. Gio. I don't know. Ayane let out a long sigh. All right. Why do you think you're weird? Gio wiped her face. I mean, it's a medical thing. I know, because you go to the bathroom every 30 minutes when we hang out. And I still wet the bed sometimes, so I have to wear them to sleep. I meant to find it weird you don't want to pee on your sheets? Ayane sighed. Or mine, for that matter. I like wearing them too, though. I know that because of the pigtails. But hey, what's wrong with mixing business and pleasure? Please kill me. Hey, I support all perverts. It isn't a sex thing, Gio clarified with astonishing speed. Fetishism, by default, has no inherent sexual aspect. Well, I agree with that. Sorry, I didn't mean to make this into some joke. Honest. I mean, you have very politely declined to comment on it. But as you can see, I'm a sad, titless girl who wears enormous fake breasts under my military uniform for my own gratification. Ayane sighed, gesturing at herself. So, yeah, you know, the things I'm saying go for me, too. I don't care if you're weird. And you know, I like that you're weird. I really do. I don't know if I can accept that so soon. Gio glanced at Ayane's chest. And, I did notice, but it felt a little rude to ask. My image is a hot bimbo is in tatters. No, I think you're really cool for that. I mean, I get it. I know, you're trans too, if I know you're trans too if you're trying to come out to me. Ayane laughed. Oh, sorry. No, I didn't mean it that way. It was the pigtails too, actually. How's that work? Because the little girl thing is on purpose. Ouch. I'm being a little mean, aren't I? I'm sorry for making you cry before. No, I cry a lot. At everything. Sorry. I've noticed. Ayane chuckled. That's okay. I feel sick thinking about showing my face in class again. If it helps, I'm probably the only one who saw. We always split off from the group. Also, I think I'm the only one shameless enough to start a sentence with saying I was peeking up your skirt. You said it wasn't on purpose. Gio hit Ayane on the shoulder. Ow. If anyone sees, just say you've got a flight and you're wearing your underclothes now. Some people do that. I mean, when we're on standby, you're meant to do that anyway. Oh, good thinking. And, I don't wear them all the time, if that makes it less weird. It doesn't, but okay. It's mostly just when I know I won't be able to use a bathroom for a while, or when I sleep. Though I probably should wear them all the time. It's been getting worse since I got here. Is that why you were acting weird at the arcade? Please stop shooting me! Ayane laughed. Sorry, I can't help it. Really, though. It sucks to experience that. But it is weird to like wearing them, right? You're starting to sound like you You're starting to sound like you want me to bully you. I've never talked about it with anyone in person before, so I'm kind of freaking out a bit. I see that. Why not just tell me what you like about it? I can tell you what weird things I like. I think you've figured out most of it. I think you've figured most of it out, Gio sighed. Well, yes. And you're okay with that? I mean, I figured you're into something along those lines from the second we met. That makes sense, Gio groaned. Aside from, all that, I guess I just like wearing things that make me feel safe. I feel the same thing about wearing spacesuits, or even just tight clothing. I like wearing seatbelts even when I don't have to. They make me feel safe from, well, humiliating myself. And what am I meant to find weird about that? What about finding them cute, or buying ones with cute patterns on them, which are more or less made for fetishists? Cute is subjective, so that isn't weird either. And I already said I support perverts. Yeah. It's not my thing, but I can't deny those macaron pattern ones you wear aren't pretty cute. You saw those? Ayane ruffled Gio's hair. You're so cute that it really does make me want to bully you. You're wearing them now, aren't you? Kill me now. No, you have to live. Sorry. Gio, you have to live. You have to live, Gio. Alright, I'll have mercy. Thanks. Really, though, I don't want you to think it's something I'm weirded out by. Gio is just Gio. Besides, I knew the whole time yesterday. You did, Gio said with a hint of pain in her voice. I don't actually want you to pee on my floor or anything either. Yeah. It's been kind of bad today. Poor thing. This is embarrassing. If it helps, every pilot in this whole base ends up pissing themselves when they're out in their Dragoon. Me included. That kind of does help. When we get changed for our flights, you'll get to see me wearing a diaper too, you know. Yeah, I will. You little... I'm pure and normal. Ayane let out a long sigh. You know, these two things aren't quite connected, but when I think about having what feels like an abnormal body, I don't think the only relationship I should be allowed to have with it is shame and misery. I don't think it's shameful for me to wear fake breasts. I like looking how I want to look. So, for you, isn't it kind of nice to be able to say you think they're cute? So true. So fucking true. I think that's better than being ashamed of it. Or even if you'd said you'd only wear them because you think they're cute, it's not like I'd be in a position to make fun of that. What? Am I breaking character too much? Not actually an idiot. Ayane laughed. I didn't transition without thinking about these kinds of things. Besides, it kind of changes your whole worldview when you find out how many businessmen walk around wearing cock cages. That aside, you can be really cool sometimes, Ayane. Gio exhaled, leaning on Ayane's shoulder. Thanks for not thinking I'm weird. My point was more, you are weird, but that's okay. I don't want to be weird. Well, you are gay and transgender, so that's already out the window as far as normies are concerned. Fine. Anyway, let's find you a shirt. Let me shower first. She's so cute! Puppy! Puppy shirt! Puppy! She's so cute! She's so cute, I'm gonna die! She's so cute. I need to die in a hammer car explosion. That top suits you a lot more than it does me. Where did you even buy this? Dunno. I just buy things because they look funny sometimes. Right. I got changed for bed, but I don't think I'll be able to sleep. Want to smoke and just hang out then? It was what I invited you over for originally anyway. Yeah, I need a cigarette right now. Gia rummaged through her uniform's short pockets, searching for a thin pack of pink cigarettes. She'd already seen Ayane smoking here before, but a warning from one of the orientation handbooks came to mind. Are you sure we should smoke in here? Ayane smiled. I took out the smoke detector, it's fine. You can't just do that. You can. It's okay. You really can't. Anyway. Guys, just take out the smoke detector. It's fine. Just do it. You should follow Ayane's advice here. Just take out the smoke detector. It's fine. Anyway, you with a cigarette right now is certainly... Shut up. Still, I was pretty much expecting you to say you never wanted to speak to me again. So I'll take the teasing. You tend to feel doomed pretty often. I'm working on it. Speaking of, we got sidetracked before, but should I be worried about you throwing up this morning? Do you get nightmares after you pilot? I mean, sure. Every time. But I don't know if that's what you mean. I felt like 1 minute I was in the cockpit, then the next I was in a nightmare, and then I woke up in bed. Then I got sick. I remember all this stuff in between, but piloting makes me feel completely fucking crazy. That would probably be contamination. Right, you said that the other day. I forgot. That's why Susie always asks how my head's feeling. Is it bad? I don't even know what that means. Probably not. Probably! You aren't dying or anything, Ayane sighed. Just one of those things where they don't talk about it because it scares off recruits. Especially since it mostly affects the talented ones. Short-term memory loss, depersonalization, insomnia, etc., etc. I only know about it because I looked through Susie's desk. How is any of that meant to comfort me? Because high scorers don't get permanent damage. That's what makes you a high scorer. If I had the dial turned up to your level, I'd end up a vegetable. I get headaches because I can't take it, and I don't bounce back quickly. Oh, I'm sorry. And what were you looking through Susie's desk for? Because I wanted to see... I am at a curious age. You'll be amused to know, what I found was a colorful little pamphlet about it for the senior officers. It's even got little comics in it. Susie will probably show it off to you if you tell her you've been having trouble with your memory. Did it say anything about it getting better over time? I don't remember. I want the reliable Ayane back. Comfort me, Gio whined. Ayane put her arm around Gio's shoulder. There. You aren't dying, sweetie pie, honey baby. Okay. Pouting sucks for everyone. Shima hides it pretty well, but I can tell it gets to her. Susie too, honestly. Honestly, I don't know if it's the Dragoon or just me. Yeah? I already had all those symptoms you listed off well before I ever got in the cockpit. And I've already had horrible nightmares. They're probably why I still wet the bed. Gio. I know, I'm just... Gio raised her arm, examining the jagged lines crisscrossing over her flesh. Can't really hide being a wounded person, can I? It feels like that inside and out. Ayane sighed, taking Gio's arm in her hand. You really are prone to feeling doomed. Is it such a bad thing to have scars? I have not been able to stop saying I am at a curious age since reading the scene. Very good. I like that. I don't know if it's what you want to hear, but seeing these only makes me like you more. I don't get that, Gio murmured. When I talk about how I was as a teen, does it make you feel distant or closer? Yeah, I see what you mean. Besides, having scars is metal. I don't think I want to be metal, Gio sighed. Yeah, you want to be cute. But contrast in a dish brings out the flavor. Like how you smoke those cigarettes of yours. I don't know if I'm flattered by being compared to food. Didn't I say you were bite-sized when we met? You've always been food to me. Yeah. They're so everything to me. I love them so much. I pick them both up with one hand each, and I make them go meow like little airplanes. Your shoulders are really stiff. Ayane sighed. Her arms were wrapped around Gio from behind as they lay together. Like I said, I'm not used to this. Don't tell me it's your first spoon. It's not a virgin, you know, Gio protested. Ooh la la, Ayane teased back. I always dreamed of getting to have a friend like you, Gio said quietly. Well, I'm here now, in the flesh. I don't think my dream was anything like you, though. I don't think I ever imagined I'd get to meet someone as nice as you either. I'm not all that nice, Ayane replied. Yes, you are. I can tell you really are trying to cheer me up. You still are. Well, you did really worry me. I think being able to worry for people makes you nice. Plenty of people just don't worry. Ayane sighed again. I guess I can't argue with that. I'm sorry in advance if I pee in your bed, Gio whimpered. Do you think you'll have nightmares again? Ayane asked. I dreamt about someone that really hurt me this morning, Gio admitted. I don't want to throw up again. I'll forgive you for whatever bodily fluids of yours end up on my bed. I'll try not to. Was it that boyfriend? Ayane asked. Gio shook her head. Foster father. I get the picture. Ayane squeezed Gio's waist. I'm really sorry. Do you usually sleep with Fufi? Ayane asked. Yeah. Is it hard without her? Gio nodded. Don't take this as pity, but you can stay with me until she's back. Are you sure? Permit me my one moment of acting a little crazy, Ayane sighed. But I'm asking for my sake too. Yeah. You really scared me. I'm sorry. I'll forgive you if you just talk to me the next time you feel like that. Okay. stay like this for a while? Gio asked. Of course. We could do something fun tomorrow, too. We should spend some time off base. Yeah. Susie will understand. I took you out to cheer you up, Ayane explained. She's weak to having her heartstrings pulled. Right. I told you, I'm evil. Evil, evil, evil! Can I have that teddy bear again before you fall asleep? Gio asked. Sure. You know, I had a girlfriend that was like you. She couldn't sleep without a teddy bear. Is this how you learned how to bully me? Gio asked. She didn't really have the self-awareness to be like you. Her power level was too weak to be an adult baby. I think mine is too, though, Gio said. As much as I like the idea, I'm not sure I could ever really, do roleplay. I don't really understand age regression either. That's kind of surprising, Ayane remarked. I feel like a child when I have flashbacks. Gio's voice was soft and quiet. I don't like it at all. I don't really understand being able to will yourself into any kind of state of mind. Or feel naturally in touch with an inner child or whatever. Ayane whistled. I never knew it was so philosophical. I guess it kind of is, Gio said, sighing. But, I like the idea of being treated as a kid, obviously. Obviously. But yeah, those couples where it's just a 24/7 roleplay thing where a person gets looked after all day? Gio asked. Yeah, I've seen the TV specials. Ayane laughed. And I use the internet. Gio groaned. But yeah, I think if I ever tried it in real life, it would ruin it. I think I'd start freaking out from how ashamed I felt like that. I don't think I could really feel present or enjoy it at all. But I still feel jealous of girls in those kinds of relationships. I think it's kind of normal to feel jealous of people who can act completely uninhibited, Ayane said. Yeah, I guess that's it. Sadly, neither of us get to be adopted by the centaur sugar mommy or regular style mommy of our dreams, Ayane bemoaned. Back to centaurs now, is it? Gio sighed. I'm a simple woman, Ayane grinned. If I have a dream about centaurs, it's your fault, Gio whined. If you have a dream about them and I don't, I'll resent you for life. Gio whined again. You have to save them from me. Ayane squeezed Gio's waist. Sure. We never ended up watching any cartoons, did we? Gio observed. I think talking was more important than that. Yeah. We'll watch them next time. That's all, folks. Yippee! That's all that there is a Coquette Dragoon right now, baby. Yippee! Coquette Dragoon's pretty good or something. Ugh! Oh, those two mean the world to me. I fucking love those two so much. Oh my god. Well, while we're here, I figure, I haven't gone through the cast screen yet. So I can scroll through this stuff. I was saving this stuff because I was I forget how much was on here, and I felt it was probably better to do this as updated, but I had everything unlocked, so I didn't want to accidentally show off something early, but I can go through and look at these. Ensign Giomar Rosales, pilot of the Coquette Dragoon. Orphaned in her infancy by the war, she has spent her life in a struggle to eke out a living in the outer edges of the Lilac Fleet. With little hope for the future... Excuse me. With little hope for the future, she took the chance to become a Dragoon pilot to escape from her life of debt. Obsessed with cute things, she does her best to try and embody the image of a sweet, hard-working young girl. Internally, however, her thought processes are frequently consumed by doubt and panic, and ultimately her mindset is rather jaded. Her inner self comes out through her habits like smoking cigarettes. She's so cute. Standard Lilac Dragoon Pilot Uniform, skirt. The most popular and recognizable style of uniform for women, with a striped black skirt and button-up shirt. Geo had always been fond of wearing orange ribbons as complement to her eye color, only now realizing they were made to complement these uniforms. The uniforms for Lilac pilots follow a loose set of requirements, with a wide range of pieces made to order, allowing for a degree of personal preferences in accenting. An orange piece of neckwear is considered mandatory, though it's not particularly enforced. Little Hope? No, the little's name is Geo, silly. Lilac Civilian Safety Suit. A standard safety spacesuit for civilians, legally required for passengers of unarmored shuttles and other small transports. A suit designed solely for passenger safety, equipped with self-repair functions and a distress beacon. As a safety suit for citizens unqualified for spacewalks, it only comes equipped with automatic inertial dampening to protect against impact, and has no function whatsoever for independent movement. Lilac Dragoon Pilot Suit Base. Geo's pilot suit, currently unadorned with the typical accessories favored by Lilac pilots. Being fond of spacesuits, she quite likes wearing it. A sleek, minimal suit worn in the cockpit of a Dragoon. Designed to be worn inside the cramped cockpits of Lilac Dragoons, where standard spacesuits simply could not fit or remain mobile, while providing the protection needed in the event of exposure to vacuum. With the most compact technology in the Lilac, the life support systems fit entirely into the helmet with no need for a backpack. The suit can be dyed in a wide variety of colors as ordered by the pilot alongside their measurements, and can be adorned freely with outerwear to the wearer's liking. While extremely light and comfortable for a spacesuit, with no external protrusions, its functionality is restricted to quite a basic level. A thin lining on the suit interior absorbs sweat to a limited degree and is able to keep body temperature to within a comfortable range. While perfect for brief sorties, it's rather unpopular in extended use. Conditions within grow humid, the air produced by the compact recycler quickly grows distasteful, there is no internal food or water supply, nor does it have any functionality for waste management, aside of disposable undergarments that most would rather not be referred to as a diaper. Most Lilac pilots prefer to fly with their helmets stowed or visors left open, entrusting themselves to the airtight cockpit of their Dragoons. Gia's onesie! Gia's cute choice of pajamas. Since she gets cold easily, is comforted by snug clothing, and is rather sensitive to having exposed skin, a garment like this was a natural fit. It's also very cute. Shorts version. A slight variation on her usual outfit. The suspenders and tie give it a boyish feel. I love this look a lot. I love the shorts. Yippee! She's so cute. Her cute little blushy pout. Gio's pilot suit, adorned with a short jacket and capelet. A variety of cute patches adorn her chest and collar. She isn't used to expressing herself, so she's a little embarrassed wearing it. But as always, she's fond of spacesuits. On to Ensign Ayane Midorikawa, pilot of the Lace Dragoon. An overly honest, trendy young woman born and raised in the... Wait! Sorry. I forgot about the history and stat sheets. Oh my gosh. Chapter 1. Arrived aboard the Lilac Fleet capital ship Zephyranthes as a newly enlisted Dragoon pilot, meeting her new squad mates Ayane, Shima, and Suzy. Scared out of her mind. Chapter 2. Spent the night before her test flight in an arcade with Ayane. Still scared out of her mind. Chapter 3. Had her first test flight and passed out immediately afterwards in Ayane's bed. Had many bonding moments with her. Not yet aware Ayane has seen upper skirt. Well... Yes. Now this is the yummy stuff. The extra yummy stuff. Secondary species rabbit, image color, this color. Type cute, aspect steel, alignment true neutral. Sign Pisces. She's 4'10". I forgot how teeny tiny she was. She's so small. She's so small. Pilot compatibility score 79. Likes plush toys, tight clothes, and weighted blankets. Being patted on the head. Being told she's doing a good job. Dislikes older men. Being talked down to. Favorite food? Meatball. Hobbies? Used to write. And then you got the stats, baby. Bladder control, we have it a D-. Luck is unknown. S+ determination. S rank shame. D rank hope. I love the stats screens. But we're gonna move on to Yane. An overly honest, trendy young woman born and raised in the Lilac capital. Her reasons for becoming a pilot are seemingly unknown to even herself. Freely criticizes those around her, though by the same token she gives out praise with the same frequency. She has a strong sense of freedom, ignores rules she doesn't like, and is happy to abuse her position over trivial matters. Self-destructive tendencies arise frequently, and sometimes she will cause trouble just for the sake of it. Really, though, she has a pretty soft heart. One of Ayane's many the pencil skirt. One of Ayane's many uniforms, featuring a pencil skirt and an undone shirt button, her neckerchief angled to show off her chest. How bold. An old graphic tee and a pair of shorts, since she gets hot easily. Art courtesy of Max Schwartz. I do want to give... I love the Saturn attachment trauma shirt here so much. It's very good. And skirt and tie. The standard uniform, adorned with a loose-fitting tie. And then the sweater, she looks very comfy here. A commando sweater worn alongside a skirt and tights. Her choice for when she doesn't really feel like putting something together. Still deeply need that shirt. It's so good. It's so good. Tweeting on Twitter, I need this other shirt. Chapter 1, met by Gio aboard the Zephyranthes, bought chips and smoked with her. Chapter 2, took Gio out to the arcade and smoked with her. Chapter 3, looked up Gio's skirt. Oh, she has a very similar color to the one that I use for everything. The one that I use is 00FFFF, while hers is 0F0FF. It looks like, I think that's a little more blue in the profile there. Type, passion, aspect, blood, alignment, chaotic neutral, sign, Leo, 5'8". She's a little more up there in height. Pilot compatibility, just barely squeezing by the halfway mark. Likes musical, archival, obscure things, plants, tension, threats. Dislikes boredom, working, the man. Favorite food, anything spicy, cheesy, greasy, meaty, or sweetie. Hobbies, photography, caring for a cactus. Libido, A+. Shame, D. Fear, S. Oh, breast. Sometimes I forget like some of these stats and I'm like, oh. Fear S is a strong stat here. Pain tolerance, D. Lieutenant Susie Fox, pilot of the Strawberry Dragoon, the gentle squadron commander who acts like a school teacher. Calm in all things, she approaches her duties with diligence and care. She treats her subordinates with an unusual warmth for an officer, acting as both their counsel and their leader. A workaholic by nature, she can always be found behind her desk writing reports. The classic high-waisted skirt look, adorned with a small pair of gold pins on her collar to show her status as an officer. Susie's customized pilot suit. She feels the star is very cute. Chapter 1, met by Gio aboard the Zephyranthes, made a very positive impression. Chapter 2, unseen, enjoying a well-earned break. Chapter 3, accompany Gio on her test flight. Secondary species span. Oh, what was hyena? It was hyena. That her secondary animal was. I totally forgot to read that out, I think. The secondary species spaniel. Type passion, aspect thermal, alignment lawful neutral, sign Libra, same height as Ayane, compatibility score 68, likes dutiful people, dislikes girls with dyed hair who don't do their job and ignore all the rules and are constantly making a mess I have to clean up. Favorite food, coffee. Hobbies, I don't have time for anything like that. Yeah. Rest E. Cunning D. Choosing the stats. Major Seema Valentine, pilot of the Honeybee Dragoon, the mysterious ace pilot of the Lilac Fleet. Quiet and standoffish, little is known about her other than her terrifying combat record. Seema's vibrant pink and yellow suit, adorned with some curious decorations on the chest. With her withdrawn personality, one can't help but wonder what her thought process is in choosing such an eye-catching garment. Seema's preferred styling of the lilac pilot uniform, with a vest-like garment worn around her waist and officer's pins on her collar. Chapter 1. Killed Gray with a lance through his cockpit. Met Gio in the lockers, seemed to show no qualms about being half naked in front of her. Spoke rather cryptically. Chapter 2. Walked Gio home? Chapter 3. Had breakfast with Gio. Species, squirrel. Type, cool. Aspect, lightning. Alignment, neutral, evil. Sign, Virgo. She's 6 foot? I forgot she was that. I mean, I knew she was tall, but I didn't know she was 6 foot tall. And we have a bunch of here. Unpredictability, S+. Determination, E. Passion, E. Luck, E. Charm, E. Trust, E. Fun, E. Hope, E. Fear, E. Godspeed, Seema. Foofy, the adorable android companion of Gio's. Completely nude. How erotic. Chapter 1. Arrived alongside Gio. Does not seem to approve too much of the surroundings. Chapter 2. Seems to be avoiding Gio. Chapter 3. Seen briefly talking to Ayane. Type, cute. Aspect, none. Alignment, true neutral. Sign, none. Height, small. Likes caring for others. Dislikes being unable to care for someone. Favorite food, electricity. Hobbies, caring for her fur. Squishy S+. Fun. Pain tolerance, not available. One of the titular Wibbles of Wibbleburger, has a standoffish attitude, but in reality craves attention. Work uniform, the iconic waitress uniform of Wibbleburger. Chapter 2, met at Wibbleburger. Type, cool. Aspect, none. Alignment, true neutral. Sign, none. Height, Wibble. Likes being around others. Dislikes being around others. Favorite food, electricity. Hobbies, waitressing. Observation, S. Soon, S+. Commander Clemens, senior officer within the Lilac Special Division Dragoon Unit and commanding officer to Gio's squadron. A cruel, quick-tempered, and aggressive tactician appointed to a senior leadership position at an unusually young age. Disliked by his subordinates and frequently causes friction within the senior Lilac commanders. A severe charcoal-colored ensemble evoking the uniforms of naval officers in eras past. A large cap gives an imposing impression, though with his young age, it comes across as a bit of an overcompensation. Chapter 1. Seen aboard the Zephyranthes, functioning as the senior officer to Geo Squadron. Shima is seen reporting directly to him. Unseen. Lieutenant Hill, adjutant to Commander Clemens. A distant young woman, perhaps the only person brave enough to bear her commander's company. Her personal ambitions are yet to be seen. A severe charcoal-colored uniform, evoking the uniforms of naval officers in eras past. Preferring a pencil skirt, she wonders at times if she looks more like an office worker than a soldier. Seen beside Clemens, unseen, across a Geo about her mental health. Emile de Lucia, pilot of the Pegasus Dragoon, equal parts devilish and childish, the crown princess of the duchy who cuts her own hair. A woman of stark contrasts, her outward demeanor is that of a cunning and ruthless soon-to-be leader. In private, however, her personality reverts to bitter complaints or childlike playfulness. While she can be a handful to deal with, you can look at it as her form of affection to reveal her true colors to someone. Possessing the magic of the royal family, her fighting strength is equivalent to that of a battleship. Against her mother's wishes, she takes to the battlefield to observe the situation with her own eyes, hoping to gain some insight into what it will take to win this war once and for all. Her spiteful and hard-to-impress nature places her at a distance from the noble families she will one day come to rule as queen, and despises any and all who proposition her as a suitor. Is fond of honey for her straightforwardly honest nature, and relies on her as the only source of advice she is ever going to hear amongst a sea of platitudes and flattery. Dotes incessantly on her younger sister, Cecily, and despises her half-sister, Elise. Emile's customized suit, adorned in a simple black and white color scheme. Despite her status as royalty, she refuses to adorn herself in gold or silver. A modern, form-fitting suit worn by the Duchy Dragoon pilots. An extremely high piece of technology equipment, or high technology piece of equipment, there you go, consisting of a soft rubber-like material and a thick metallic collar. Designed to be worn at all times by on-duty pilots to allow them to be ready at any time to sortie. A basic uniform model is mass-produced for rank-and-file pilots in the various Duchy armed forces, while bespoke adorned suits are made to order by the noble classes. The suit itself provides protection from vacuum, with total control over body temperature and a comprehensive self-cleaning function to deal with pilot sweat, dead skin, and bodily waste, effectively allowing it to be worn indefinitely in total comfort. As a small bonus to the fashionably minded, the effects of the suit are in fact quite good for the wearer's skin. The powerful battery and photosynthetic capability gives it a near unlimited power supply. While appearing as heavy ornamental metals, the collar and other decorations are closer to a soft and pliable plastic. The material of the suit itself hardens on impact, giving a degree of protection from shrapnel or projectiles, though not to the extent of a dedicated suit of armor. To allow for unobstructed vision and removing the need for a helmet within the cockpit, the collar projects an atmospheric bubble in the event of a hull breach. This notably leaves the pilot's head quite vulnerable to injury, but the consensus remains among pilots that clear vision is a greater form of protection. An armored helmet can be fitted to the collar for use outside of the cockpit. In her casual wear, I love the sweater here. Very, very arcade. A simple combination of a sweater, shorts, and tights. Much like many of her other outfits worn in private, she prefers simple, comfortable clothing. Chapter 1, accompanied Baron Grey on his personal mission against the Lilac and is in no way responsible for his bloody death. Chapter 2, seen insulting the deceased at a funeral. Chapter 3, tasked with finding and capturing Shima by her mother. Secondary species, cat. Type, passion. Aspect, lunar. Alignment, lawful evil. Sign, Taurus. She's fucking huge. She's 6'10". I know the royalty are huge, but that always catches me off guard how actually really tall that they are. Like Cecily, playing with Cecily, showing off to Cecily, watching films with Cecily. Dislikes Elise. I cannot wait to meet those two. I cannot wait. Favorite food? Chicken parmigiana. Hobbies? Cinema. Cunning, S+. Determination, S+. Tactics, S+. Pain tolerance, S+. Luck, S+. Spite, S+. Fear, E. Hello. Hi. Charlotte de Lucia, Queen of the Duchy, a mother to an entire nation. Attire befitting her station. Chapter 3, tasking Meal and Honey with finding and capturing Shima. Secondary species cat, type passion. Aspect solar. I cannot wait to see how tall she is. I don't know how tall she is. Aspect solar, alignment lawful good, sign Gemini. Can't help being a Gemini. Height tall. Wait. Her height's right there, and it's tall. She's big. She goes up. She goes up. Favorite food: pasta el pomodoro. Shouts to the Pomodoro method, by the way. Use it. Use it. It helps you get shit done. Do shit for 25 minutes, rest for 5. Do shit for 25 minutes, rest for 5. Shit works. Go look at a Pomodoro timer online. It's good. That's a lot of S+s. Bust S+. Oh my god. Those are all up there. That's her stats are huge. The only thing they're huge. Honey! I love honey. Honey Pancake Anastasia Sukhoi Rose de Marine. Pilot of the Vigil Dragoon. A morose and soft-spoken dragoon sniper, adorned in the black and gold colors of the Royal Guard. The personal guard to a Princess Emile and her closest ally. Okay, you can see you can see the angle of my outfit now. She can't tell us her exact height because it would kill us instantly. True. See, it's the unknown feeling of like, it's the abstract feeling of, oh, she's tall. That's important. Having a number removes some of the mystique of the tall. But she's tall. She's tall. The personal guard to Princess Emile and her closest ally. Hailing from a family of commoners in a rural village, the story of how Honey came to have a seat at the Queen's table is a story of more tragedy than luck. Finds great difficulty in emoting and speaking to others outside of her work. Born Anastasia Sukhoi in the farmland of the duchy, she was orphaned at a young age by the invading Lilac warships during the bloody 34th Great Offensive. Through surviving alone, she found herself to be one of the duchy's blessed, possessing a small amount of magical aptitude and healing ability, in the bitter sense of fortune that came with it. At the same time, a junior naval officer considered unremarkable by most was thrust into the command of a duchy warship after the deaths of his superiors, and would ultimately come to play a pivotal role in repelling the Lilac invasion and earning the highest honors as a hero of the nation. Granted the title of high nobility, a sum of land, and the new family name of Rose, he would be the man Honey would come to call her father. While adoption was extremely rare for nobility, there were rules preventing her too from becoming a member of high nobility in this new family when he chose to adopt her. As custom of nobility to take names from common nouns, she became Lady Honey Rose in the district of Marine in the duchy capital, and slowly acclimated to her new life as a noble girl. Over time, she came to love her new father deeply, and found him a sensitive and honest man she found herself taking after. Unfortunately, her newfound sense of family was short-lived, as her adoptive father would too meet his end at the hands of the Lilac after returning to the war some years later. Barely a teenager, she found herself alone again, and as the head of a noble family, she was faced with the choice of either giving up her title to find a new family or remaining alone in the manner her father left her. Unwilling to part with the name and a home that reminded her of him, she chose to stay as the head of the Rose family. In a land of tradition where bloodlines ruled all, a commoner girl adopted by a former commoner who never lived long enough to establish himself among nobility was considered an affront to the dignity of the noble class. From one chance meeting to another, she found herself befriending Princess Emile during their years spent in boarding school, and through her, becoming a fond acquaintance of the queen herself. While this bond of schoolmates was all good and well for a child, she saw no connection between herself and the royal family continuing once she reached adulthood, leading her to the decision of enlisting into the royal guard to remain by Emile's side. Her innocence already long lost, she quickly adapted to the world of killing and counter-espionage and the brutal rigors of learning to pilot a dragoon in her teens. Over the years since graduation, she has come to hold a truly prodigious reputation among pilots, and while many doubt her claim to title as nobility, none can be cast on her feet as a pilot or soldier. With her mind made up to keep hold of her few connections left in this world, she unwaveringly walks the path of bloodshed and will stop at nothing to protect those she loves like family. Honey's pilot suit, adorned in the black and gold colors of the Royal Guard. She had no real say in its design, but is content to wear the colors of her role. And then her coat. An ensemble made to order and gifted by the queen herself. A stylish three-piece set with a scarf to match. The modern and flexible fabric is suited to the cold Dutchy climate and allows ease of movement in an emergency. A handgun can be comfortably concealed in her coat and knives in the sleeves. While the Royal Guards have a uniform for formal purposes, their normally clandestine nature means they have no requirement to wear it on duty. With this factor coupled with their generous pay, guardsmen stereotypically wear dark clothing that matches the requirements of expensive, discreet, and able to conceal a gun, leading to the informal nickname of black suits to refer to their members. History Chapter 1 attempted to shoot down Shima, missing and hitting Gia's would-be rescuer by accident, though she wasn't sure if she really missed. Chapter 2 spent the evening with Belle at a party, watched her drool a lot and patted her head. Chapter 3 tasked with finding and capturing Shima by Emile's mother. Secondary species cow, type cool, aspect shadow, alignment lawful evil, sign Taurus. Height 5'11", likes her car, straightforward people, dislikes the open sky. Favorite food, pancakes. Hobbies, reading erotic fan fiction, painting, driving, baking. Shoutouts to Honey. Shoutouts to Honey for being a reader. Shoutouts to the readers out there. Libido S+. Salute. Observation S+. Tactics S+. Cunning S+. Trust, fun, and hope are an E. Have hope, honey. Have hope. Beldheim Katzbalgar. A saccharine young noblewoman with peculiar tastes. Born as the unfortunate, illegitimate child to a family of nobility through her mother's affair, Belle has lived a life of disgust and ostracization of those around her. Despite it all, her personality is that of boundless affection. Completely obsessed with Honey, has a habit of drooling whenever she sees her doing something she finds cute, is able to restrain herself from humping her leg, at least. An oversized winter cloak. Worn indoors, she catches people's eye as something of an eccentric, but has never given comment on why she prefers this style of dress. Sorry, that last line is still killing me. Yeah. Coat, worn underneath her signature cloak, a simple military-style double-breasted short coat. Even with modern lightweight fabrics, it's still quite a heavy ensemble on her. Chapter 2, met with honey at a party and drooled all over her. Chapter 3, unseen. Secondary species, main wolf. Type, cute. Aspect, scar. Alignment, neutral evil. Sign, Gemini. She's even smaller! Height, 4'6". Likes nice smelling things. Honey. Dislikes nothing. Favorite food, watching honey eat. Yippee! We're in good. I feel like no. Should I? No. All I have to say is I feel like she likes feeding her a lot of snacks. Pain tolerance S+. Trust E. Shame A+. No. Stability D. No. Fun S. Yay! Mosaic Gray. Pilot of the Promenade Dragoon, a high-ranking nobleman, desperate to impress, departed this world in a spray of blood, legs showing off, dislikes being killed, presumably. Gray's pilot suit, kept to a simple, imposing black design with some armor adorning the shoulders. Chapter 1, killed by Shima while trying to show off. Chapter 2, still dead. His nephew has some questions about it, though. Chapter 3, still dead. Hemlock Gray, a pilot of the Royal Navy and nephew of Mosaic Gray. A meek, timid young man who doesn't leave a strong impression on others. But isn't he kind of cute? But isn't he kind of cute? Likes lollipops and watching ships by the pier. It's easy to get on his good side if you give him a little praise. A red and gold uniform of a low-ranking officer. Uniforms of the Duchy Royal Navy are designed as accompaniments to spacesuits, with a simple bodysuit substituted for terrestrial wear. Chapter 2, approaches Honey at the manor party, questioning about his uncle's death. Chapter 3, unseen, watching the sail ships with a big lollipop somewhere. I'm just imagining him with like a little like twirly cap, like sucking on a big lollipop, like la 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 la. Millie, nemesis of Philly. Perfectly regular leotard. A perfectly regular piece of exercise wear. Perfectly regular uniform. Chapter 1. Her eternal struggle against Philly begins. Chapter 2. The struggle continues. Chapter 3. Selling phones? Nemesis of Millie. A perfectly regular piece of formal wear. A perfectly regular military uniform. Chapter 1. Her eternal struggle against Millie begins. The struggle continues. A pilot? Extras. Oh, I didn't see this extras tab. Oh my, oh yes, oh my god, I keep forgetting about the drum and bass t-shirt. I love the drum and bass America t-shirt. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is excellent. Wibble. Oh, I love that. Small! So small and cute. Elise! So cute. Tall. I didn't realize they were both kind of tall. I would think there'd be like somewhere between the 5'5" to 5'7" kind of range. They're much taller than I realized. Wow. Well, that's it for Coquette Dragoon right now. I did a lot of jabbering. I did a whole lot of raiding today. I very much enjoyed it. So I knew I had stuff here, but I forgot. I forgot how many of this thing that I had here. There's some good stuff in there. There's some good meat in there. Yum, 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 yum. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. That's everybody should buy it. Once more stuff comes out, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to stream it. You guys are gonna have to buy the game, and you're gonna have to read for yourselves. I'm gonna like probably wait like a whole month or something before I like go through and, or maybe I'll wait. Who knows? Who knows? You got, hold on. Let me go to burgwazi.itch.io/coquette-dragoon-1. And I'm gonna paste the link in chat. Hold on. For whatever reason, my OBS isn't actually logged in, so I have to paste it here. But everybody go buy it. Everybody go buy it and give Ivy your money. You should do that. I will not be again. Once there's an update, I'm not going to be streaming it right away. If you wanna get in there, you're gonna have to. And you watching the VOD, you better buy the game. You should buy the game. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching along here. I will probably figure out another visual novel to read along to, because this is really fun. I hope you guys enjoy listening to me read stuff as much as I enjoy doing it. I do have like a couple things I would like to reread for stream. Like I'd potentially like to reread We Know the Devil in Heaven Will Be Mine. Also, once Of the Devil has like its big chapter 1 update, I will be like rereading through the prologue, and I'll also like experiencing all the new features. I'll reread that, and I'll play through chapter 1. I'll do that here. Trying to think of what else, but I want to read stuff that isn't just like stuff that I've read before, because like I love doing that. I think it's like it's fun for me because I get to shake things that I like in my brain a little bit longer and chew on it a little more, and I get to like re-experience cool stuff. And I also get to like show people stuff I think is cool. But I do want to potentially explore some stuff that is new to me as well. I don't know what that will look like, what I'll like end up reading. We will see. What else? Oh yes, I'll probably be streaming more Hotline Miami next week. Like probably first half of next week. What else? What else is Jillian doing with her time? Working on game, I guess. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to share a little peeksy at something I was working on. So as I said earlier, I have started working on Easy Shot again. And I think something I was stuck on was I wasn't 100% satisfied with the designs that I had. So I did some redesigning. Oh my god, that's huge. Hold on, give me one moment. Transform. There we go. Fucking ginormous. So here are the new designs of the two characters in there. I feel better about these designs. I will have to redraw some CGs, but it's fine because I feel like the art that I had in those CGs does not reflect my current ability at the moment. Big women on your screen. They're here, right here, right now. Yes, I am very much working on that again. I've gotten the ball rolling again. I was having a bit of a difficult time for like my own personal reasons. I had stuff going on in life. You know how it goes. But yeah, that's happening now. I am that will be a real game. That will be a Toxic Sniper Yuri will be a real game. I forget if I was going to say something else too. I think that's about it. I'm really hungry. I'm so hungry. So I'm gonna leave now. Jillian is big time hungry, so I'm gonna wish you all a nice night. He isn't streaming yet, but I'll drop his channel here. I can't really like raid yet because he's not streaming, but he's gonna be streaming in, I think, like 20 minutes maybe. Everybody go watch Juno play Sonic Adventure 2. He's gonna be doing the evil route. After watching him play Sonic Adventure 2, it's like, oh, I get it. Oh, I get why people are insane about this game. I want to play it. Maybe I'll play it for stream next. Oh, yeah. Anyways, I'm hungry. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Take care. Bye-bye.